Today we're checking out what would happen if different sized asteroids hit the Earth. I'm talking asteroid sizes ranged from 5 meters all the way up to 10 miles in radius.
That's a lot.
Can the Earth survive? Let's find out. All right, the first asteroid is 4 meters big.
Wow, that's already bigger than that woman.
That is much bigger than that woman. And this is so it's going to show us what would happen if a 4 meter asteroid hit New York City.
Okay.
That's not that big. That is not that big.
No, but it's coming in hot, right?
Whoa!
It didn't even make it to New York
Oh, it
City.
didn't
It
even
broke up
make
in the
it.
atmosphere.
Wow,
That's kind of embarrassing.
What a
This
L.
one is 20 meters big.
Okay.
Wow. Wow,
It's-
that's the size of something big.
Why are
Yes.
all these hitting New York City?
I think it's
what
just
is
a
this-
good comparison.
what is this
Clearly,
crater
that's
have
where the
against New York
aliens would
City?
attack, Adam. In every movie, New York City gets attacked.
I would go after like a Utah.
Why?
There's nothing going on in Utah. you
I would
know?
go after Utah. Is this one even going to make it? Now I'm
I
worried
don't
like
think
none of these
so.
are even going to make it.
Oh, no.
Wait, why doesn't
What
it
the
make
heck?
it?
Oh, it broke up into tiny pieces.
Oh! Yo!
Why does it do that?
Look at New York. It's because Jack knows he's smart. It's like the.
So, Adam, when it comes into the atmosphere, it's getting really hot, right? The atmosphere is heating it up with the speed as it's coming in. The air gets denser and denser as it's coming in, and then it breaks up into a bunch of different pieces. But if the pieces are too big, they could come past the atmosphere, hit the Earth, and have a little mini explosion.
and make big boom.
That's how dinosaurs died.
Okay, now we're talking. This is like skyscraper almost level.
How big are these meteors gonna get?
50 meters big.
How big are these
They're
gonna
gonna
get?
get big. They're gonna get miles big. We're only
Yeah,
at
I
50
think it might be
meters.
as big as the
Yo!
moon.
Oh!
Okay,
Still
this
broke
one's gonna
up.
have some serious damage. There goes Manhattan.
Oh
I don't know
my
if you guys are
gosh.
catching that, but there's like a sound wave too, so it's breaking the sound barrier when it breaks.
Whoa, this one's bigger than the Mona Lisa.
Wow. Are these real meteor impacts that have happened in real life?
So
No, you
I don't
dummy.
know. I don't think that they've actually hit New York City. However, giant asteroids have been hitting the Earth for billions of years. We're just lucky that most of them break up in the atmosphere.
Aren't there like some locations where you can go and see like meteor craters? Like there's still craters.
Yeah, there's tons of them. Especially Africa, I'm pretty sure, has like one of the biggest craters still, and it's like a huge valley. where
Isn't
lots
the
of
Grand
animals live
Canyon?
now. Grand Canyon was actually made by water that goes through for millions and millions of years.
There's no way you actually thought that.
Also, guys, I don't know if you knew this, but you know when you look up at the moon and it kind of looks like a bunch of different little dots? Those are all from asteroids. And the
Oh.
asteroids, it doesn't have the atmosphere, so it can't break them up like the Earth does. So those are all different like little asteroid craters.
Wow.
The more you know.
That's crazy. What if the moon hit the Earth? That would be a really big asteroid.
I think that might be the last thing that's in this video.
Oh my gosh.
Yo!
Wow.
1.6 kilometer meteor
That's
crater.
almost a mile long, right?
I think so.
It's like 0.7 miles.
That's crazy.
Okay, and these are only gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
So the impact energy on this one is like the SAR bomb, which is one of the first ever nuclear bombs that was created.
Wait, is this 51 SAR bombs or is this the SAR bomb 51?
No, it's 51 of them. 51
Oh
nuclear
my gosh.
bombs.
Okay, New York City's gone. I'm sorry.
No, I think this is going to expand all the way into like all of the East Coast is probably going to be wiped out.
Oh my god, it's
not even that
taller than
big.
the Eiffel Tower. Dude, the Eiffel Tower's huge.
I know, but not that big.
Oh, it's
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh!
That cannot be accurate. It just destroyed all of New York City.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is like this could actually happen. This could actually happen.
No way.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, so the chances of this happening are very, very, very small.
It's how the dinosaurs died.
No.
It is, however,
It was from
that was
water,
at
Alec.
that was at a time when our asteroid belt wasn't fully developed. Our asteroid belt now is like as safe as it's ever been. Like the
So it's like
asteroid belt,
protecting us?
Yeah, so it protects, I believe, like the inner 3 planets. So it protects like us, Venus, Mercury, and I also think Mars is right within that cusp. But that's why we don't get hit, because we're protected by this whole asteroid belt. So any big asteroids coming in go into the belt, and then they just get trapped in the belt. So that's why we haven't been hit by many asteroids.
I don't understand. If a big meteor is coming down, right? Why can't we just shoot our own meteor at it and then blow it up?
Yeah, like let's just call Iron Man to go deal with it.
That
Just-
is what scientists have said, that they should redirect it. If there ever is a big asteroid, they're going to send out rockets to move it a little bit so that it just gets like,
I like that. That's
propelled
smart. Why
by
don't
our
they pay me?
gravitational pull. Uh-oh, boys. Uh-oh.
So we're already at a mile
Wow.
long. 1 mile long.
1
That's
kilometer,
a kilometer.
Adam.
That's 0.6 miles. Oh.
Oh, boys.
Whoa.
Yep, this one's coming right into
That one looks big.
planet
That's
Earth.
pretty much the sun.
That one looks big. That one looks nasty.
That one is on fire.
Oh, GG's New York. GG.
Oh, New York is
Downtown
getting destroyed.
Manhattan.
I think at first I would think that this was a firework. So I'd like start cheering.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my! It just destroyed. It actually just destroyed all of New York.
Oh, that's more than just New York.
14-kilometer crater.
That whole crater is New York.
Dude, that probably makes like earthquakes too.
Okay.
Oh my. Okay.
Okay, this is 20 times bigger.
That's what took out the dinosaurs. So it's similar to the one that took out the
8,700,000 T-Tsar bomb.
This is 20 times bigger than the last one. Do you guys think you would do anything if you saw it coming at you? Like if you looked in the sky and you saw it?
I would try and
Like,
dodge
what would
it.
you do?
I pooped my pants.
You poopy your panties? I would too.
Oh.
Here it comes. It's entering the atmosphere.
Broke the atmosphere. Oh. Oh.
Oh! Whoa!
There's the
That's
entire
why-
North America.
That's why the dinosaurs got deleted, because of that.
Yo, it made a volcano!
So it's not even like, so that happens, right? Even if you survive this, there's gonna be an immediate ice age that happens from all of the carbon dioxide that gets emitted. Immediate ice age.
Why would there be
Oh.
ice? No, that's not accurate because look, if you look, there's so much fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
was
it
Crackjack.
clouds the atmosphere, boys, and then it blocks out the sun, and then the sun can no longer get to the earth anymore. So it just turns ice cold.
I actually did hear about that. I heard like the dinosaurs didn't actually die to the meteor, but because there was so much like dust and everything, no more trees or vegetation could grow, and so they couldn't eat anymore. They all starved to death and died.
These small things could survive
That's
because
what I was saying.
they didn't need a lot to eat. They could, you know, burrow underground and stuff. They didn't need to worry about it.
I completely
Right.
agree, and that's what I was saying from the jump.
Exactly.
Wait, that only destroyed one country. I mean, it's a lot, but there's still 7 billion people.
4 billion years ago, this thing hit Earth. So also, I know, I just came from like a planetarium a couple months back, but they actually said, so the moon, right? The moon used to be a part of Earth.
I heard that before. I
An
don't know if I
asteroid
believe that.
hit. What are you talking about?
don't
Why
know if
don't
I
you believe
believe
it?
that.
Why don't you believe it?
Because you're
Because it
dumb.
just sounds silly. It sounds like they
it got
want it to
hit-
be true, but
Yeah.
it's
It got
like
hit by an
not
asteroid,
really
and then it
true.
got
Jack's a flat
dinked
earther.
off, and then it started going around.
I don't know if I believe that.
Guys, you know Horton Hears a Who? You know how, like some universes can be really small, you know that theory?
Oh,
For some
yeah,
reason
yeah.
I'm thinking like, what if like a Horton Hears a universe is stuck in my toilet and I'm like this 1,000 tar bomb with my turds dropping in the toilet? That would be crazy if you think
you
about
probably
it.
are. Yeah.
I'm destroying planets with my turds.
That's good.
So this one's wiping out planet Earth, right?
I don't think so. I think it's gonna destroy half of the planet.
And I think the
Well,
whole planet's gonna be
luckily-
gone.
Look at how small it is though compared to the Earth.
This one is landing in Italy, so no more pizza.
Wait guys, what if it landed in water instead of a planet? Would that change
tsunami.
anything? I feel like that would change a lot.
I think it
tsunami.
would. Oh my gosh! Yo, look at all like the fire coming off at the top. Are those all gonna land? Are those all like little meteors?
Yup.
That's like
It's
a bunch of little meteors.
Like a shrapnel grenade.
Okay, this would definitely destroy all of Earth. No one is gonna live. No one's living after this.
You only need like a tiny little meatball in order to destroy Earth.
Whoa!
That was the moon.
We almost got hit, guys. We almost just got hit. Yo.
I like your cut, G.
That's pretty sick, though. I'm not gonna lie. Even though that's my Earth, I still feel like that's pretty cool. I'm
so happy
Like, if
this
that
is just a
happened, I would be
simulation.
like, wow, that's a pretty cool way to go out. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't even know if you'll have time to think that. Oh, that looks like the moon. Oh, no.
That is a moon. That's a moon. That's a Jupiter moon, I think.
Series.
Wait, what's their issue
we're
with
being
Turkey?
synced to now.
You think they have a problem against Turkey?
I mean, it's either turkey or chicken that has to go.
That's the size of the moon.
Well, it's,
That
it's
is
a,
insane.
yeah, it is a moon.
It looks like it's moving slow, though. Maybe it'll just like land nicely, nice and peacefully, you know?
Then we can add to our Earth.
Exactly. We can
So,
colonize
It's a
it.
little top hat.
It's saying Ceres is about 27% the size of our moon.
Oh, that's like kind of tiny.
Yeah, it's only like a quarter.
Yeah, this is tiny. Nice one.
Look how slow it's going, though. Maybe it'll just like be nice and land kindly.
I think it's going slow relative to its size.
Okay, it did not land kindly. I can confirm. It did,
And
it
there
did
goes
not
Africa.
land very kindly.
There goes Africa. The media's racist. They're coming for North America now.
That
okay.
is insane.
Okay, it's not racist. Sorry.
That is just, this is only a quarter size of the moon.
It
Wait,
just,
what would happen?
It just destroyed everybody.
It turned the Earth into the sun.
Oh my, it actually does look like the sun. That's crazy.
Wait, do you think that's how the sun was created?
No. That's insane.
I think I just solved something.
Oh, there's a
so-
survival manual, boys. We can learn how to survive.
It's surviving. What are you talking about?
All you gotta do is just jump in the pool and we're good. Just jump in
That's
the
If you
pool.
actually
time
true.
it
That's-
correctly,
yeah.
you can jump over the blast and you're good.
True.
That's a good point.
The question is not if, but when. What do you guys think would happen if we detonated every single nuke on planet Earth? We're gonna see what would happen if we exploded every single nuke on planet Earth, starting from the smallest nuke all the way to the biggest nuke that we've ever created.
Technology. Next
Oh
up, we
my
got the
gosh.
Fat Man in Nagasaki,
my
Japan.
gosh.
Why do they call it the
dude.
Fat Man?
Fat Man.
I don't know, but it's
Oh,
a
this-
big boy.
Oh my gosh!
I
That's
think I just
terrible.
was blinded by light.
No,
Wow.
bro. Wait, this is actually sad.
Yeah,
The
right?
cameraman never dies.
It was the second of only 2 nuclear weapons ever used in warfare.
And
All right.
hopefully the last.
I
ever
really
to be
hope so.
used in
So
warfare.
all the ones in the future from now, they were test bombs in a non-populated area.
RDS-3, 41.
Here's the next biggest. Oh, I guess it.
Big Ben? Okay, so this
Oh
is a
my
hypothetical.
gosh!
If it was in London.
Whoa!
It would decimate
So if
London
that dropped
easily.
in London, it would just disappear.
Oh, dude, everything in London. I think all of England would disappear.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Holy smokes.
That's huge.
London is London no more, bro. It's gone.
That's only number
London
3.
is London. No, don't do France.
Next up, what is that?
That's
Bye-bye, Alex.
that's where my whole family lives.
What is this one called?
No.
This one is called the France Destructo 9000.
This one's called Goodbye France.
One
This is
thing
why I'm
that's
so
really
scared of nuclear
scary.
bombs. Everything could just disappear at once. Look at it.
We exploded.
Well, one thing that's really scary about nuclear bombs too is the radioactivity that comes off of the actual
Yeah,
explosion.
you won't have to worry about
So-
that if you live in France when this thing drops.
Well, the
oh my
actual
gosh.
explosion is probably
Wow.
a couple miles big, but then the radioactivity that goes off of it will kill a lot more people.
I know, exactly. It's like when you take a crap in a toilet, it's like, it's bad on impact, but then it smells everywhere.
Exactly, dude.
The North Korean.
Wow.
Okay, I feel like that bomb has a target.
Yeah.
They
Wow,
literally
wow,
named
wow,
it,
wow,
and
wow,
it-
we're gone. If that ever happens, boys, it's over for us.
Oh my gosh.
R.I.P., boys.
Do you think they named it the North Korean as code so no one knows like who the bomb is meant for?
It was probably South Korea. I would be terrified to live in whatever world that we're watching this in. Like, this is a horrible place to be. And it's possible. All of these nukes exist.
Don't say
I was
that,
gonna say
Jack.
that is the current. This is the current world. That is the current
I don't know,
world.
but this is a hypothetical world where if they detonated all of the nukes,
The thing is, I feel like right now, if one nuclear bomb goes off, everyone's setting their nuclear bombs, and it's the whole world's gonna turn into a crisis.
This one's called the TN-8081.
who named that?
Now, the cities are just getting bigger and bigger, and they're getting deleted. Bro! They need to zoom out more so we can see this from the top down
It
Earth.
literally just set the air on fire.
300 KT.
This is the first one that has black smoke.
I can't even tell like how big that is anymore.
So the French actually have some crazy bombs. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's
That
gonna
was
be
a French
tiny in
bomb.
comparison to the U.S. biggest bomb.
True, the U.S. has like the craziest
Yep.
military
Speaking
ever.
of, this is a
The
bomb that the
Ivy
USA
King.
currently has. This is if it was dropped in South Korea.
Oh my god! What?
No
Largest
way!
pure
Wait, we
fission
actually
weapon
tested
tested
Largest
by
pure
USA.
fission weapon tested by the USA. So we
We
exploded
tested this. That is insane. Why would we ever even test this thing?
Yeah, we probably did it in like Kansas or something.
Probably in like some desert, or I'm pretty sure a lot of bombs are tested in the middle of the ocean.
Oh my gosh, those poor fish.
Yeah, a lot of fish die.
This one's called the tadpole.
Well, your
Bink.
mom's still swimming. All right.
Oh
my gosh!
goodness. No way. That literally blew up like half of the continent.
You can
Why
see
does
it from outer
Russia have all
space.
these nukes?
They're preparing for something. They're preparing for the alien invasion,
It says
hopefully.
it's currently in the Russian arsenal.
Is Korean in the Russian arsenal?
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe
I'm
it.
so glad
terrified.
Adam is not in charge
I
of
am
our
flipping
nuclear
terrified.
system.
Imagine
Or
if I had the
nuclear
power
bombs.
to press a nuclear button.
I don't think anybody would ever want that. Adam, you would press it by accident while you were
Yeah.
eating
Oh,
cheese
Adam-
all day.
Adam would go, "What this button do?" Bink. Just go explode the
How
world.
big was that?
That was too big. That was way
How
too
was big was it?
Minuteman 1 warhead.
I wish we could see like the distance, because that one's definitely 10 times bigger than the last one.
I don't want to know the distance, dude. That would be incredibly scary.
There's still so many more bombs that we
my
haven't
God.
seen
Oh,
either.
here we go. This one's owned by the USA.
No,
I've
not
blown
the
up this one in
B-83.
Minecraft, and let me tell you, boys,
Not
it's
the
big.
B-83.
This is the biggest city in China.
Oh! Oh!
Oh, my,
Nobody needs this much power.
that one's so much bigger than the last one.
That's like an asteroid
It
hitting
literally-
Earth.
If they blew it up at that exact spot, then that thing is forming its own island. Like, it's gonna break off from planet Earth and
That
float
would
into
cause
space probably.
a tsunami probably that would hit everywhere else.
Okay, at this point, it's all just Russia and
Thermonuclear
USA.
bomb.
This one's another
This
USA
is
one.
This is the scariest sounding one. It's a
we
thermonuclear
made
bomb.
more nukes than ever created before during the Cold War
Why do we have so many nukes?
for combat.
You know what's funny?
Wait,
I mean, I
what?
guess it's not funny.
Almost
Accidentally
accidentally
detonated.
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 The U.S. has made like thousands of nuclear bombs, and then we banned anyone else from making any bombs.
Smart.
It's pretty
America.
funny.
It's like literally just changing the rules because you can.
Wow, this is the
Yeah.
first one not from the USA. This is from China. China currently owns this.
And this one's gonna be bigger.
And they're about
Oh,
to
boy.
plop it on the US Bank Tower.
Bro, my whole screen just turned white because of how big that explosion
Literally,
is.
that's the entire state of California.
I wonder if it would cause like an earthquake.
Oh,
it might.
100%.
It would
You think
have
it
to.
would?
Look at how far that spans.
Yeah, look
That
at
is
the.
insane.
That is one big divot.
Oh my gosh.
And that was only an ICBM. That wasn't even technically a nuke, I don't think.
That looked like Dusty Divot.
These are just large bombs. These aren't even nukes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Jack,
this
this
is
is
a
a thermonuke.
thermonuclear bomb.
They have to be
Oh.
nukes.
That means that it
Oh!
literally sets the air on fire immediately.
Oh! Oh!
That is so much.
Did you guys know in North Korea they have fake cities? It'd be fun to test a bomb in a fake city just to see what it would look like after. They had built
Nobody
entire
lives
cities that
there?
no.
Alec, you're like Sid from Toy Story. You're literally just like probably killing stuff for fun.
Yeah, what?
What?
You probably
Well,
stomp
it'd be
on
fun to
Lego
watch
City.
an
This is also
entire-
stupid.
Well, knowing that nobody lives there, it'd be fun to like just blow it all up. You know?
Fun? It would be fun. People spent years and
Yes.
years building that, and you wanted to just
Yeah.
destroy it for fun.
Well, yeah, it would be fun. I would watch.
I would blow up your PC setup. You had to rebuild it for fun.
That would be fun.
That was the first ever hydrogen bomb. Nobody's
Oh,
ever
what
used
does
a
that mean?
hydrogen
Who
bomb
invented the
before.
hydrogen bomb?
I think
Probably
Einstein
someone
did.
really smart.
Or Oppenheimer.
No, Oppenheimer didn't. I think he knew about it, but he didn't want to say anything.
Oh my gosh. Is this London again?
What is this
London
one?
is getting
Who
destroyed.
owns it? Oh my!
It's
Who owns this?
Too much power. Nobody needs that much power.
So I think we're at the point now where none of these have been bomb tested.
That has
Largest
been
bomb
tested.
tested.
Oh, this has been exploded.
Yeah. Castle Bravo.
Oh my gosh! Where?
I'm telling you, bro. They
Where's
just
there that much empty space?
in the ocean, you dummy. I said that.
ocean. In the ocean.
They just kill a bunch of fish.
Wow. GG's. Imagine you're a fish.
Oh gosh.
I'd hate. I.
That's
I'd
like
probably
the.
hate that.
This is why I'm glad I don't live in New York. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Look
Did
at
you
the
guys see
Look
that?
at the smoke cloud.
Dude, there's like a mini volcano next to it. Oh, that's the little boy explosion.
yeah, that's the little boy. Just for comparison.
Wow.
Look at how much bigger that is.
That is why nuclear missiles and bombs are banned, because that.
I'm pretty
I
sure
think-
the little boy killed like what 400,000 people, something crazy.
Too many people. Yeah,
I thought it was
way
like
And
too
200
look at how
people.
small that is.
something.
Like that's
It
how
shouldn't
destructive
even
it
be
can
possible.
get. That's not even the biggest one.
That's probably like 100 times stronger than the little boy.
Oh my gosh. At least.
We should also build a bunker, guys.
This is crazy.
Oh my.
Whoa.
Wow.
Bro, what even
To
is
send in
that?
signals to
I'm
space.
scared.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
And, dude, if this is the technology that we have, imagine what aliens.
Bro.
No, this one's owned by Russia. Nah.
The SAR bomb.
No, our stadium.
This thing is insane.
Our stadium. Oh my god.
You know what's crazy too, guys? These are only the bombs that we know about. Like, what if they just don't disclose some of the new technology that they came out with?
There's
And maybe they have
definitely
even
secrets.
crazier. Yeah, they definitely know some stuff that they haven't released.
Yeah.
There's
So these
totally
bombs are the biggest that
secrets.
we know
There's
of.
always secrets.
This is
I don't even
scary,
wanna
bro.
think
This
about
is
that.
scary.
I kind of hope that they keep it a secret.
Pretty scared. I want to see
I'm
the little boy
terrified.
next to this thing, just to see the comparison.
Adam, we get it. You want to see little boys?
Just go stand next
No,
to it,
no,
Adam.
no.
You little boy.
Oh my.
That has 4 different bomb clouds.
Dude, it has like its own
That is so
ring
powerful.
system.
That would blow up a third of America.
All nuclear bombs at once.
This one's owned by North Korea?
Whoa.
Oh wait, this is
whoa.
every single
Oh my
bomb at
God.
once. Okay.
Oh.
See, I told you this happens, Adam.
Look at the little boy. Oh
Look
my
at it.
gosh. That's 1,000 times bigger at least.
So I'm pretty sure I watched a video
Oh.
saying that if we did that, the world end. We literally
Oh, yeah.
like
Just
cause
from the
an ice age
radiation?
immediately.
I
Oh,
honestly,
yeah.
I honestly thought it'd be a tiny bit bigger because it's like every nuke in the world.
Adam, a tiny bit bigger. That is literally the size of all 5 Great Lakes.
That's true. But like the world's a lot bigger than just that.
I know, but the
Is it
mushroom
the
cloud would
radiation?
literally cause our atmosphere to just boom. It's gone.
Are you serious?
We would all die.
You're crazy.
We would all die.
Okay, but
guys, I'm
what would
telling you.
happen if this dropped on New York City?
I really
City
don't
would
know,
go
and
completely.
I'm kind of interested to see what would happen.
See, I'm not the only one to say that.
Well,
Oh,
lucky
we're about
for
to
you,
find out.
we have it right now.
Okay, so this is if little boy hit New York City right now.
Well, we know what it did
We're
to
gonna go through every
Hiroshima.
bomb again on New York City.
I can't imagine it's gonna do anything good in New York City. Wait, that's actually not as bad as I thought.
No, think about it though, right? In New York City, there's like, what, 3 to 6 million people that live there?
I think more.
Yes.
I think it's like 10 million.
Even that. So even if it blows all those people up, that could be millions of people just in that small
It is going
space.
to be millions of people.
Yeah, it will.
That's why we can't let
That's
this ever
crazy.
happen. We have to get rid of all of the nukes.
What do you even do? You just send it to
8.4 million
space?
people.
Yeah.
Can we use that for energy and power to fuel our rocket ships?
15% of survivors will eventually die. Oh my
Well,
god.
that's
this
how
is
it
the
works.
Actual radius.
The spread is the radiation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
people
The
affected.
radiation is what really gets
the
you.
problem of nuclear weapons.
I said that so early, guys. I'm like a genius. I really am.
That's just a little boy. That's the smallest bomb.
Yup.
Just wait till they release Big Boy.
Oh gosh.
Gosh.
Oh god. Look at how
Fat
far they have
man.
to zoom out.
This is the taupe hole.
Bro. Okay. New York City's done if that drops.
Whoa! Blinds the eyes for a few hours.
A sun.
Wind is faster than the speed of sound. 5,000 degrees Celsius
What?
explosions.
Holy smokes.
That'd be so creepy. The wind is going faster than the speed of sound. You would feel the wind and not hear it.
You're safe if you're
That would be
underwater, right?
creepy, you
If you're
said?
just like a couple feet underwater.
Oh my gosh!
The star bomb.
New York
No.
is gone.
No.
That
No.
literally just took out the whole eastern stratosphere.
That might
It's
hit.
gone.
That might hit all the way
Fireball
over to
radius
Philly.
of 6.1
To Philadelphia.
kilometers.
And yeah, New Jersey's gone. I think the entire state of New
City
York's
of
gone.
brotherly explosions.
Look at that! Look at how far it spreads.
Wow, that went all the way up to Maine.
Stop
that
zooming
hit
out.
Philly.
3 days? That's from that little bomb? That much radiation?
Yup.
It causes
I'm pretty
sickness
sure
and nausea.
that's a hydrogen bomb. That's why hydrogen bombs are
Causes
so
fatal
deadly.
cancer.
Wow.
That causes.
And this is a clip of the largest tested nuclear bomb.
Is this a real clip? That's a
footage
real
Is that real
bomb?
life?
is taken from 85 miles away.
Oh.
85
The
miles?
blast
Oh
radius
my
was
gosh.
4.5 miles in diameter. That's a real bomb. This is real footage of
There's
the
that
largest
wind-
ever tested nuke.
There's those wind tunnel things, those circles.
Yep.
They're in the clouds, by the way, if you guys couldn't tell. That is
Above
above,
the
the,
clouds.
that is
Above
above
the
the clouds.
This is the only way for it to be safe. They're in the middle of the ocean, and apparently it was a disaster. They didn't realize how big it was going to be.
Yeah, that's huge. Don't they still get hit with the radiation?
It's
Supposedly they're far enough away, but I feel like
It's
you
on
can
its
never
way.
be far enough.
85 miles away and it's that big.
It's like
Yep.
looking at the sun.
Oh my. It looks like it's moving in slow-mo, but I'm sure it's moving so fast, just so far that it looks like it's moving slow.
Whoa.
Yeah, this was their first ever test of a fusion bomb.
That better be their last.
It was.
It looks like a giant jellyfish.
Wow.
Whoa. Is that
That's
the sound?
That's scary, bro.
Or maybe the sound didn't even hit them yet.
I don't know.
They could be in a helicopter.
It has to travel 85 miles to hit
Yeah,
them.
this was back in like 1950.
That's what I'm saying. Like technology's so crazy now. That was so long ago. Imagine what we can make today.
That is
Oh my! I'm not sleeping tonight.
insane.
I might have nightmares.
Oh, wow, dude. That is the biggest explosion I've seen since this morning when I blew up my toilet.
The only thing scarier than that is if asteroids would hit the Earth.
I can't even imagine what that would be like. What would happen if the Earth stopped spinning?
I think time would stop entirely.
I think I would fly into outer space.
Well, both of you guys are actually entirely wrong, and I'm gonna tell you why. Comment down below what you guys think would happen if the Earth stopped spinning.
What if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? Would you notice? Absolutely. In fact, depending on where you're located, you could be thrown off your feet and sent
Oh, I
flying
said
across
that.
the planet at approximately 1,000 miles
I said that.
per hour. If
That's
you somehow
insane.
survived
What in the
that
universe?
first,
What?
What happened next would be
What?
like walking into a nightmare. There
you
would be
kidding me?
giants.
Wait, but why though? Because the Earth is frozen. Why would everyone be flying? That doesn't make any
gravity-
sense. It should be
Because,
the
yeah,
opposite.
it's not going to slowly come to a stop. If it just stopped on the dot right there in time, everybody's going to just keep spinning around.
Yeah.
We're spinning at like
Really?
thousands of miles per hour.
So we're just used to the Earth spinning. Like we're just used to it spinning.
We are spinning right now thousands of hours every single second, and we are moving through space at millions of miles per hour. But we don't feel it.
That's crazy.
Let's let this guy explain, because he's much smarter than me.
Giant storms, humongous waves, and flying debris. The crazy part is the worst is yet to come. We might
Really?
take all the things
No way.
Earth's rotation does for us for
Hey,
granted. It
do the
influences the
stanky
weather,
walk.
allows for 24-hour days, helps moderate the climate so we can survive comfortably
Really?
on our planet. Earth started
Exactly.
spinning around 4.5 billion years ago, and it hasn't stopped since. This is because in the vacuum of space, there's nothing to create friction that would slow down the Earth. However,
I
the
see.
speed at which our planet spins is decreasing. So, what would happen if if Earth suddenly came to a complete stop. There would be some instantaneous effects, followed by a series of catastrophes in the minutes, hours, and days to come.
Oh my,
If you
the
Wait,
ground
so
just exploded.
If it slowly stops spinning, it's slow, like every year it gets slower and slower. Eventually it will stop spinning.
Well, yeah, but that's not going to happen for a very long time. Yeah, I think that it's going to take literally forever.
Okay.
Unless Adam, you need to speed the Earth up by sprinting as fast as you can and just like digging into the ground and pushing and pushing and pushing, and then the Earth will go faster than it's ever fasted ever before. That's what I think you should do. You could save the entire world.
That's the stupidest thing you've ever said.
Alec clearly needs to go back to 5th grade.
You're sitting on a beach near the equator when Earth stops spinning. You, the beach chair, and all that sand
See
around
you.
you
It's
would
like a giant
continue
tornado.
moving at around 1,000 miles per hour. If you somehow managed to avoid
Wow.
being hurtled across the planet, you would have to watch out for things such as cars, animals, and anything that wasn't secured to the Earth.
Yeah,
flying
everyone
away.
would fly
You and
away,
all the
even
other flying
buildings.
debris would
No
not
way.
get launched into space because Earth's
cyber-
gravity
That's
would still
Elon.
be pulling you toward its center. But everything would go careening in an easterly direction across the surface until friction finally
I would
slowed
just
it
go
down.
west then.
It might seem unbelievable, but if you were at the North or South Pole, you would have no idea that Earth stopped spinning at
No
first.
way.
This is because
that's actually
momentum
true.
at these locations is zero. Think of it like spinning a basketball on your finger. The finger at the pole of the basketball doesn't move as the ball
Bro.
spins. However, if you were to place your finger
Interesting.
anywhere else on the surface of the ball,
Wait.
it would move in the direction that the ball was
Bro.
rotating. That same thing would apply to anyone at the poles of the Earth. Let's say that you and
Okay, so whoever is living like at the equator is moving the fastest?
Yeah.
Is that what he's saying? Bro, that's crazy!
But nobody has any idea because we're always going at that same speed, so nobody really can feel it.
I'm moving to Antarctica, bro, just in case this happens. I'm bunkering up over there.
I heard it's pretty cold there.
It's better than being dead, than getting flung around. You're getting flicked by gravity.
Nobody's going to stop Earth in its tracks. There's no way. It's been doing this for 4.5 billion years.
Or, hear me out, we always just wear a parachute everywhere we go, so that when we eventually go flying, we just pull our parachute, and then we're good. Then we slowly fall back down to Earth.
What happened to Alex IQ for this video? It's just dropping.
That is
Sure.
genius! Are you serious?
Comment down
Yeah,
below.
but
That is
Alex,
actually
what-
smart.
What
That is
will you
actually
do
smart.
if a giant car comes out of nowhere and kills you anyway?
Then I pull left, and then I dodge the car. Come on, it's a flawless plan. Just
Well,
everywhere you go
Adam,
from now on, wear
I
a
actually
parachute.
think he's onto something. Alec, you should buy a parachute and you should wear it everywhere.
See, that's what I'm saying. Exactly, it's a
Wait,
great
I
plan.
agree. Alex,
Fantastic
buy that
idea.
now. Buy
Alec,
that
go
now.
on Amazon right now. Please buy a parachute.
Thank you, guys.
Buy it off
you and
Temu, actually.
everything else that went flying across the planet.
wish
Now
dot
See, that
com.
guy needs a parachute.
Debris everywhere.
should save-
See?
Look around and
If you had a
see
parachute-
survive
Anyway.
alive. Unfortunately, you won't stay that way for very long
Oh,
because the
here we
worst
go.
is yet to come. Even if the Earth stopped spinning, the atmosphere would continue to move. This would cause a massive global windstorm. Like
Oh,
everything else
snap.
that wasn't bolted down,
Hey,
the
yo.
winds would blow at 1,000 miles an hour.
Oh.
As you
Parachute
move
would
away
save
from
ya.
the equator, the wind speed would slow down. However, you would need to be located pretty far north or south.
It's awesome.
before the
Wait,
winds
it's
dipped below
kinda sounds
non-lethal
amazing in
levels.
Antarctica.
Most man-made
Yeah, but you would
natural
freeze.
structures would not even
Wear a
be able to
coat.
withstand winds over just a few hundred miles per hour. The
Whoa.
strongest wind gust
Wow.
ever recorded on our planet was just over 250 miles per
That
hour.
is really
And the
fast.
most powerful hurricane force winds
Oh,
reached
that was
just
a
over
hurricane, though.
150 miles per hour. When you consider the destruction that can be done by these storms and then multiply it tenfold, you
Yeah.
get an idea of
Yeah.
how dire
Every
the
house,
situation
every
has
building,
become.
see
the
you.
winds would not only be moving incredibly fast across the planet, but they would do something strange over time. Once
Wait, now I actually now understand the history of the Leaning Tower of Giza.
Pisa.
Pisa.
Okay, go on. Is that it?
Down,
Oh,
regular weather patterns
That's
would
not
change
how that
drastically.
happened.
Never
The
believe
spinning of the
anything
Earth
Adam
creates
says.
The Coriolis effect, which causes air currents to move across the planet.
Whoa.
It is the movement of air and the friction that's caused as it passes over the surface of the Earth that causes certain weather patterns, such as hurricanes. Therefore, a non-spinning Earth would not have any more hurricanes. So, at least we have that going for us.
Let's
But there
go.
are
There
we
other
go, there we go,
phenomena that
come
make
on.
trying to survive
Well, that's
on
if
this
we
new
survive.
motionless
That's only one
world
thing.
incredibly difficult. For one thing, the oceans and all the water on the planet are about to move to a new location. When the Earth stops spinning, the water, like everything else, will keep moving. This will cause enormous tsunamis and gigantic waves.
What's
to
gonna happen
sweep
to the
across
sea
every
animals?
continent and briefly turn
They're all
our
gonna
land
end up
into a
on
water
land.
world. It would be like a more intense version of the Noah's Ark story, but even a ship large enough to carry 2 of every animal on the planet wouldn't survive the waves, which could
Maybe that's how God did the ocean thing. He just stopped the Earth from moving.
Just for like even 1 second, that would cause this probably.
It makes sense now. Scientifically, you could explain it, how he did
I
it.
guess so. So it sounds like the only places that are going to be safe are the International Space Station and maybe a nuclear bunker could be safe.
I was thinking that as well.
That's about it.
What if God just like, he just like spin on his finger?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's awesome, man. That was sick. I'm glad you said
hundreds
that.
of feet high. And if you thought 100-foot tidal waves
I
were
like to
bad,
think my
that's
God's cool.
nothing compared to the other natural disasters that would be caused by a sudden stop to Earth's spin. The tectonic plates sit on top of Earth's mantle and slowly move across the viscous molten rock. This is what causes geologic formations such as mountains and valleys. However, if the plates keep moving at their previous speed after Earth stops spinning, it can cause earthquakes and volcanoes on a scale of which has never been seen before.
That's fine.
that's
That's
not
fine.
good.
Plates slam into each other.
We don't even
huge
have
tremors
volcanoes
will
near
ripple
us.
across the landscape, tearing apart the Earth's crust.
Iceland
Denser
would have a
oceanic
field
plates
day.
will be forced under less dense continental plates, causing massive volcanic eruptions that would spew molten lava.
So pretty much what he's saying is that every volcano to ever exist would erupt as soon as this happens. All of the lava is just gonna boom, explode like me after Chipotle.
That's the first thing I'm on board with. I'd be cool with that.
Well, the thing is, we don't live anywhere near volcanoes, and so we would just get to see all the videos of other people taking videos of the volcanoes, which is kind of cool.
Yellowstone, I think, is our closest volcano, and it is a super volcano. And people say that if that were to ever erupt, the entire world is going into an ice age.
Actually, no, because he said that there's gonna be water. There's gonna be water all over the entire Earth. So how would a volcano do anything? The lava's just gonna instantly turn into just like molten rock instantly because there's water everywhere.
But then it keeps erupting, and then it erupts, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. That's how Hawaii was created.
So we'll make a new Hawaii. We need more land.
Now we get Hawaii's everywhere.
Exactly,
Dude, let's
true.
hashtag stop the Earth from spinning. Let's start the hashtag, guys. Come on, this sounds awesome.
Okay, you're acting like humans have any control over whether the Earth spins or not.
I think
We're gonna
Elon Musk
die
could do
either
it.
way, though, too.
Elon could do it, I think.
If we do that, we should go to Mars first, and then maybe wait to see what happens.
We should attach a string from Earth all the way to Mars.
That's an idea.
And just see what
Atmosphere
happens.
and smoke or dust particles. The resulting scars and craters in the Earth's landscape would be reminiscent of something out of Dante's Inferno.
That's good, Adam.
And yet there is still more devastation to come. We're now hours into the after effects of an Earth that suddenly stopped spinning. The waves have subsided, the winds have calmed, and the Earth has reached a sort of new equilibrium. But now the really strange stuff is about to happen. At this point, pretty much every living thing on the planet has been wiped out, except for some species.
the
that
penguins.
Oh, penguins! Penguins survive!
Scientists stationed in the Arctic. Unfortunately,
The
at
only
least one of
flightless
those
birds.
creatures won't last for very long.
They're a
Every
joke
weather
to the
pattern on
bird
Earth
community.
will have shifted. Winds are blowing up from the equator to the poles, and this directly impacts rainfall, causing rainforests to go arid and deserts to flood.
Dang,
Surprisingly,
GGs.
some of the most hospitable places on Earth after it stops spinning would be in the frozen tundras of Canada and Siberia.
I feel like if you were in a bunker, you'd survive this pretty easily. Like and then you would just need padded walls on the bunker because you get flung 1,000 miles an hour, but you just you eat that, you know?
That is true. Or you're just like strapped down. Maybe you like know that it's coming, and then you're in a seat so that you're just like protected.
Yeah. Because once you survive that, you're good.
I feel like you haven't been watching the rest of the video because there's tsunamis, there's volcanoes, there's like 1,000-mile-an-hour wind.
He's also mentioned multiple times that after these initial things happen, everyone's gonna die anyway. He just hasn't explained why yet.
Well, you gotta think that I'm pretty sure Venus is one of the planets that stops spinning entirely, and Venus, one side is icy cold, and the other side is like molten rock lava. Because it doesn't spin, so it doesn't have any equilibrium, right? So one part that faces the sun turns into lava, and the other part that faces away turns into ice.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. You're a super genius.
Right now, these locations are difficult to live in, as the temperatures are brutal and precipitation can be
Yeah,
low.
that does look
However,
cold.
with the changing of weather patterns, these areas could begin to thaw and
Even the
become
trees are
much more
sweating.
temperate. That being said, in the coming days, another problem will arise around the world that would render this a moot point. As the Earth spins, it creates centrifugal force, which pulls the water of our
yes.
oceans toward the equator.
Centrifugal
Due to
force.
this phenomenon, the sea level at the equator is actually about 13 miles higher than the sea level at the
Oh,
poles.
wow.
When the Earth
'Cause we're
stops spinning,
spinning.
the centrifugal force that causes the
Oh.
oceans to bulge at the equator is gone. This means that the
Whoa.
water of the oceans will begin to move toward the poles.
Whoa.
The ocean levels
Oh,
at
it's
the
all
equator
going
would
to
rise
science,
by
baby.
about 5 miles as the water rushes to either pole. This would increase the amount of water in the Arctic and Antarctic, submerging any remaining land under salty water. Those new oceans would
Climate
now extend
change.
from the poles down around the longitude of where Spain is located in the northern
Holy
hemisphere and to the
smokes.
tip of Argentina in the southern hemisphere. But due to the drastic drop in
Wouldn't it just freeze again, though? Because it's all cold?
Yeah, I thought all those frozen areas were floating because it's ice and ice floats. I thought it was like they were giant ice floating, like icebergs.
Well, I think that the water at the equator is really warm, so it's just gonna melt all of the ice.
But it's cold there, so it'll just freeze again. Like,
Yeah, we'll
like
figure it out.
I
I
don't know
put
if
my...
it's cold enough.
When I leave my cup out in the sun, it melts, the ice melts. I put it back in the freezer, and then it's cold again.
Imagine being a fish while this is all going on. You're just like in the water with like hundreds of miles of water going really fast. And then you're just like, whoa, this way, whoa, that way.
I was thinking, too, I didn't want to say it, but I was thinking, like, How crazy would it be to get a boogie board and just ride that thing?
That would be fun, Adam. Dude, let's make this happen. This sounds sick.
I don't think we want this.
At sea level near the equator,
C's,
there
baby.
would now be a giant supercontinent that circled the Earth's equatorial region,
Ooh, the
separating
Panera.
the two new polar oceans from one another. This new
Panama.
continent would be a barren stretch of land.
What are you
containing
talking
very
about?
little in the way of
Pangea?
plants or
Pangea?
animals, as it's been underwater for hundreds of
Pangea.
millions
You're a
of
pan
years.
idiot.
Life would slowly begin to recolonize this newly formed
Whoa.
continent in a
See,
normal
this is
situation.
awesome.
But
This
since
planet
most
looks better than
living things were
before.
likely wiped off in the initial displacement of air and water, this process
Noah
would
and his
take
ark.
much longer. However, life always seems to find a way. So
Yeah.
microbes would probably inhabit the new continent first, followed by pioneering species such as fungi and lichens.
Ew, ew.
Unfortunately,
Ah, I'm a
even
fun
the most
guy.
resilient species would have a hard time surviving on a non-spinning Earth due to the change in the length of a day. The spinning of Earth on its axis is what causes day and night. Once the spinning stops, there will still be a day and a night. It'll just take much longer to change between the two. Just because the Earth stops spinning doesn't mean it stops revolving around the sun.
Oh, I
The
forgot
length
about
of a
that.
year, or the time it takes the Earth to complete one revolution in its orbit, would remain the same. This
Okay.
means that as the Earth
Wait, that's why everything's calculated by year, is because the revolution around the Earth. I mean, the sun.
That is what a
Exactly.
year is. Exactly.
That is exactly what I learned when I was 12.
But guys, I think if the Earth isn't spinning at all, then one day is going to be as long as 1 year.
Yeah.
Right? Like that makes sense.
Imagine how much harder it would be to do the Minecraft 100-day challenge.
That would
That
take
would be
100
tough.
years.
That would take you a lifetime, Alec. Get to work.
continued to orbit the sun, one day on Earth would take a year. Wherever you
I'm so smart, dude. Come on. Come on.
You should host this channel.
Some really terrible things begin to happen. The most noticeable difference would be the changes in
Temperature,
across the
yeah.
planet. Since
Yeah.
any given
All right,
point on
relax
the Earth
there,
would receive 6
smarty
months
pants.
of sunlight, it would experience 6 months of intense heat. The first days of having non-stop sunlight wouldn't be too bad. You might
Yeah.
not fall asleep, but the temperature wouldn't be that drastically different.
How bad
However,
does
as
it
the
get?
weeks passed and the area never got a chance to cool down, the temperatures would slowly begin to creep up.
He's burnt.
It's estimated that 6 months of non-stop sunlight would likely cause the temperature on the daytime side of the Earth to reach over 212 degrees
Whoa!
Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius.
That's
this
hot.
is hot enough to
That
boil
is
water
hot.
and melt
That's
everything
hot.
else on the surface of the planet.
That is
the
hot.
water would evaporate into the
Air
air
conditioning,
and
guys,
eventually
come
find
on.
its way to cooler
Your air
regions of the
conditioning
island.
is
I would-
burning alive.
I would be on the other side
The
of
daytime
that.
side of the
I
Earth
wouldn't be
would
on
I
that
would be
side.
like, right in the middle so that I could just go daytime, nighttime, daytime, nighttime.
For 6
Yeah, exactly. You would have to continuously be like walking in between the day and the night. You can't let it get too far. Because if
It
you're in
would-
the cold too long, or if you're in the night too long, it'll be too cold. If you're in the day too long, it'll be too warm.
There's only a small sliver that you could survive on.
It would,
Exactly.
it would move pretty fast because it goes one time per year, but that's a long way to travel in a year. You'd have to follow
Especially
that.
when there's no planes and you have to walk because there's no more cars and you're also a fun guy now. So
And most of it's
keep that in
water.
mind.
True.
6 months, the temperatures would plummet. If you found yourself stuck here, you would notice something strange during your 6 months in darkness. The night sky would never change. We're used to seeing the stars, moon, and other celestial bodies move across the
Yeah.
night sky, but this is an illusion. Although everything in the sky is moving, the only reason that constellations seem to rise and set is because of the spin of the Earth. If the Earth stopped turning, this would no longer be the case, and you would see those same stars in relatively the same position all the time.
The Big Dipper
That
would
being
always
said,
be
there
in the
would be
same
7
spot.
celestial objects that still moved across the sky.
D.
These would be the other planets in the solar system. However, due to the long orbits of the outer planets like Neptune and Uranus, there's a chance they would not cross your portion of the night sky during your lifetime. You would likely be able to see Mercury, Venus, and Mars, though, which might break up some of those
right.
monotonies of a year-long day. Surprisingly, there are a few ways that life might get around the temperature problems with an Earth
Yes!
day lasting one
The
full
bunker!
year.
I'm telling
On
you,
both
the
day
bunker!
and night sides of the planet, microbes would likely be able to survive
Wow.
since they're
Microbes,
pretty
Adam.
hardy. However, most
He did
plants
not
and
mention the
animals would
bunker.
die off in massive numbers, if any survived the initial catastrophes when the Earth stopped spinning.
GG's
Although,
lying?
when you think about it, there are already certain organisms that survive in locations where 6 months of the year are
Yes.
in darkness, and the other
Yeah,
6
it's
months
Alec
the
in his
sun never
basement.
sets.
That's
in the
facts.
South Pole, penguins live in
I'm
these
catching
conditions
strays
every
for no
year.
reason.
Granted, if the Earth wasn't spinning, their
There's some sort of
habitat would
fish
likely
that's
be
deep,
underwater,
deep down
but
in the ocean
theoretically,
that has a
penguins
light
might be
on
the
its
best
forehead.
suited animals to survive on a non-spinning Earth. There may also be creatures deep in the ocean near hydrothermal vents called
Extremophiles.
extremophiles
Yep.
that could survive if
Yep.
Earth stopped spinning.
Oh, wait,
These
where's his
creatures
light?
in the ecosystems don't require sunlight as they create
Yes.
their own food, not using photosynthesis, but a process called chemosynthesis.
Yep.
They do this by taking the heat and minerals being pumped out of the Earth and into the oceans and repurposing them into food.
Animals
are
These
so
extremophiles
fascinating.
No
continue
way.
to
That's
the
insane.
Earth's core and tectonic plates
wish I
need
could
to
do
remain
that.
active. If these processes stopped along with the spinning of the Earth, then everything that
I
relied
wish
on
we
the
could do
organisms
that.
around the
Look at how
hydrothermal
happy he
vents
looks,
would die
too.
off too.
Doesn't need no
For
McDonald's,
just died.
Dunkin',
themselves still living on the Earth
Chick-fil-A.
after
You
it
don't need
stopped
none of
spinning,
that.
There might be a way to survive that year-long day. However, we'd have to go back to our roots and become nomadic again. During the time it would take the Earth to complete its orbit around the sun, there would be always a section of the planet that would be in a twilight zone.
That's
Sun
what we were
would either
talking
be
about.
Just about to rise or just about to set.
We
in
are
those regions.
geniuses.
This would make their temperatures relatively moderate. In
Yes.
this scenario, anyone who survived the stopping of Earth may be able to make their way into the equatorial supercontinent.
That's
and
what we
use
said.
it as a base of operations. If you
We're
could
geniuses.
somehow band together with any other humans who survived and start a nomadic tribe,
Start a
you
family.
could follow the twilight zone around the Earth every year.
That would be
Obviously,
tough though,
you'd need
because you got to think the Twilight Zone is eventually going to move into the ocean. So we'd have to figure out a way to stay at one spot in the ocean very slowly and then just keep following.
Jack,
that
wouldn't
Twilight
the
Zone.
ocean be gone though? Because the
I
evaporation
don't know.
and the boiling
In the
of the
image
water?
that he just showed, the ocean was still there.
Oh.
Also, the higher north or lower south you go, the less you would have to actually travel.
That is true. So you just go to the top or you go to the bottom and then you just walk in little circles.
You walk in like
little
a
circles.
4-foot
Exactly.
circle.
Exactly. Okay. We have our game
Dude,
plan
we
down,
got
boys.
this. Come on.
right.
All we need is a parachute, and then we can survive this.
Parachute. step one.
Parachute, guys. That's all you need.
That's step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Drinkable water.
Parachute.
But if those obstacles could be overcome, you could travel your way around the planet each year and keep out of the high and low temperatures.
See, look, they got their parachutes on.
There are many more
don't look
obstacles
happy,
that
though.
would need to be addressed in order for your new Twilight community to succeed. But it's kind of interesting that going back to our
Everyone
nomadic
looks like they have
lifestyle
to
might be
poop.
the thing that could save the human species if the world
does
stopped
not
spinning.
look happy
the
at
number
all.
of problems
I
that need
do.
to be overcome seems almost insurmountable when you look at it practically. All life on Earth today evolved to live on a planet with a day lasting roughly around 24 hours. The length of a day is so important that it's become ingrained in our biology. If the
For
Earth
real.
stopped spinning, it would throw the circadian rhythms of living things into chaos.
Yeah,
This
we wouldn't
process
know
is
when to
fine-tuned
sleep.
to allow our bodies to go through physical, mental,
Maybe
and
we could
chemical
just survive
cycles
24
every
hours awake.
24 hours. If your circadian rhythm gets thrown off, it can lead to depression, irregular hormone release, and even a change in body temperature. And this is not just unique to humans.
Well, depression would also come from the planet being destroyed.
I would be pretty sad about that. Yeah.
It'd be hard to be depressed if you're worried about surviving.
Yeah, the worst part would be there's no more Wi-Fi or like no more TV.
That's what you're
or no
worried
more
about.
King would
shows.
probably
That's
have
what
to
you're
shut
worried
down.
about your family getting destroyed?
Chick-fil-A would probably no longer be operational, especially not on Sundays. But wait, what if the Earth stopped spinning on a Sunday? Then they would be closed forever, at least for the next year.
Dude.
You know what the real solution would be? We need to become astronauts.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be safe if we're on the ISS. Yeah, we could just spend our time in space
And we start reeling them in with that rope.
very slowly, and that's where the parachute comes into play. Once we get close enough, we just parachute away.
We are so smart.
I'm buying a parachute.
We have to make sure we land at the North or South Pole, though. That's the only way we survive.
The only thing my only takeaway from this video is buy a parachute.
Many living
Bye,
things
bye,
on the
bye.
planet
Parachute
rely on
equals
circadian
survival.
rhythms to time biological functions. Life evolved over hundreds of millions of years to survive during a 24-hour day. It would not be able to adjust to a year-long day very easily.
Dang.
All of those problems so
crazy.
far would occur if the surface of the Earth stopped spinning. However, if the entirety of the Earth, including the core, were to become stationary, what would happen? Things would
Oh.
actually become a whole lot
How
worse.
does
No, it can't be
Come on,
worse.
come on.
Iron
But
and
wait,
nickel.
there's
this
more.
is incredibly important because as these two elements swirl around the core as a result of the
Come
intense
on!
heat and
It's the
pressure at the center of our
electric-
planet, they create a
electric
magnetic field
magnetivity.
around the Earth. This magnetic field
Yep.
protects our atmosphere from being obliterated by harmful radiation and
Okay,
solar
we are
storms.
done
If the
for.
core of the Earth stopped
Wait,
spinning
what?
along with the rest of the planet, our magnetic field would shut down. This likely wouldn't cause any immediate catastrophes, but
No!
after a while,
Meteors,
the planet
meteors!
After a while,
Always
your hair
something
definitely
from
turns
extra
red.
radiation bombarding it from the sun. Living things would get radiation burns, and the DNA in their cells would
Ew.
begin to mutate. However, this would only be a problem until the sun belched out a solar flare or a coronal mass ejection in our direction.
gosh, I
Without
hate
our
coronal
magnetic
mass
field,
ejections.
These cosmic events would completely annihilate anything on the surface
That's
of the planet.
crazy. No.
This brings us to the big question: is it possible for the world to just stop
No, he's not-
spinning?
he's nodding
The
his
answer
head.
is yes.
What?
There are two different ways the Earth could
How?
stop spinning.
You
The
said it
first would
yourself,
be if
Jack.
all motion stopped at once, and the second would be if it gradually slowed down over time.
That's what
We're
you
gonna
said,
look at
Jack.
Both scenarios. An abrupt stop
Yeah,
would
but
be
how?
much more devastating than a gradual one, but a gradual stop is likely as our planet's spin is already slowing down.
Yes.
If the Earth was hit by another planet-sized object, it would theoretically stop the rotation of our planet. If this happened, all of these things discussed in this video could be disregarded.
Okay.
That is
That looks a
terrifying.
little bit worse.
That is a
than the
code
planet-
blue.
Imagine our planet just getting deleted. Oh my gosh, that's scary. Any big planet could just destroy our planet. It's like one of them games of marbles.
The Earth will stop spinning if it gets exploded by another planet. That's a fact.
You don't say.
That's like in
Magnitude
Squid
would
Games.
vaporize anything on the surface of both planets, which makes 1,000 mile per hour
Why is this
winds
guy still
and
smiling?
year-long days pretty
This is awful.
insignificant in the grand
This guy
scheme
is
of
planning
things.
world
Surprisingly,
domination.
A planet in our solar system went through such an impact. Uranus
Really?
does not spin the same way as all the rest of the planets in our solar system. It spins
What?
at a 90-degree angle from its plane of orbit. All
What?
other planets spin close to 180 degrees along their orbit. Many scientists believe the reason that Uranus's spin is different from the rest of the planets is that an Earth-sized object hit it in the past. So,
my
it's
gosh,
not out of
Uranus
the
got
realm of
hit by another
possibility that
ball.
Earth
No,
could
it
be
was
hit
the
by
moon.
something that would disrupt its spin. There is another planet that has an even more peculiar spin than Uranus, and it happens to be our neighbor.
Saturn!
Venus is a lot like Earth.
Dang
It's
it.
about the same size, and it sits just on the inner part of
But
the
it doesn't
solar system's
spin.
habitable zone. However, due
Yes,
to
it
its
does.
runaway greenhouse effect, Venus is more like hell than Earth. But what makes this planet peculiar is that it rotates in the opposite direction compared to all the other planets in the solar system.
It just
On
has to be
Venus, the
quirky.
sun rises in the west and sets in the east. Scientists
Really?
think
How does
this
it
might have
even
been
do that?
caused by an impact. Recent evidence suggests that Venus used to rotate in the same direction as all the other planets, but the sun's gravitational
they
pull
figure that
slowed
out?
down its spin and eventually caused it to stop. That same gravitational pull continued to tug on Venus, resulting in it spinning the opposite direction.
Whoa.
Can it do the same thing to our planet then? Our planet is the next planet in the line. It's the next planet.
I think we're too far away, Adam. So we're
It's
we're
literally
only
right there.
getting-
I can see it. My
We're
mouse is
only
pointing at
getting
it.
slowed down just a little bit every single year. Just a little bit. It's kind of like when you stand next to Alec. You only get pulled in just a little bit closer every second that you're
It's
there.
getting worse and worse. So every year, I don't know if I can help it.
They say Earth is in the Goldilocks zone, Adam. We're in the Goldilocks zone.
So this is the best time to be alive.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
But eventually, Earth is moving further and further away from the sun as well. And so eventually, we're going to be outside of the Goldilocks zone, and then Earth is going to turn into Mars, pretty much, in like a billion years.
That is out of this world, Alec.
That's past my lifespan,
This
buddy.
would never happen to the Earth as we're too far away from
It's
the
not
sun.
past your
but
mom's.
Perhaps something else could cause this to happen to our planet. There may be some unknown force that we've yet to discover.
Why is
which
he
could
sleeping
cause
on the
Earth
job?
to stop spinning. Perhaps if our solar system passed by a black hole at just
No,
the right angle,
nope,
the gravitational
nope.
pull from the black
Not
hole
gonna
could
happen.
cause our planet to stop
No, Ben
spinning.
10 Omniverse
However,
is
a more
coming near
likely
us.
scenario would be that the black hole would consume our solar system or
Not gonna
throw it
happen.
into chaos. Right now, the Earth is spinning slower than it was a year ago. In fact, the Earth's spin slows down around 1.4 milliseconds every 100 years.
Oh,
that's
that's
a very
nothing.
small number. and
That's
will have
nothing.
No
That's
literally
impact on your
nothing.
life. But for people in the future, it could be a huge problem. The reason that Earth's spin is slowing down is not a mystery. There isn't some unknown planet or force tugging on Earth stalling its rotation. Instead, the reason it slows down ever so
getting
slightly
old.
each year is because of the moon's gravity. You can see the pull of the moon at work.
I always
twice a
hated the
day
moon.
if you're by a
I
large
hate the
waterfall.
moon!
Guys,
tugs at
it's
the water,
fine.
which
It's just the
creates
moon.
tides. This is a natural.
Wait, so Gru was actually a hero.
He's doing the string thing. Look at him.
The string
He's pulling
thing.
the Earth.
No, Gru from Despicable Me is actually a hero. He's trying to steal the moon because he
I thought
knows
that
that the
was
moon
Vector.
is affecting the gravity.
Yeah, exactly. That movie's factual.
process and one many
Pull the
scientists believe is
string!
necessary for many aquatic creatures to survive. However, with all that pulling and tugging comes the side effect of losing momentum.
This guy has great
Every time
handwriting.
the moon pulls on the Earth, it slows its spin ever
Little
so
tug of war.
slightly. In fact,
They're
the
gonna
Earth
kiss.
had the same
I
effect
told
on the
you the
moon
string.
for a long time until it became tidally locked.
Is this where
which
string
was
theory
caused
comes
by
from?
Earth's
Yes.
gravity stopping the spin of the
It's
moon
my theory.
completely. This is why we only see one side of the moon. Since the moon is smaller than our planet, it has less gravity and therefore didn't tidally lock the
Nerd.
Earth.
Yep.
This is a
Little
good
boy.
thing. Otherwise, our day would last a year and the world would look very different than it does today. But the fact remains, the moon is slowing the spin of the Earth. Ever
Down
so
with the
slightly
moon.
all
I hate the moon.
time.
Down with
To
the
put this into
moon.
perspective,
Let's
let's
just
go back
nuke the
in
moon.
time. 400 million years ago, the length of the Earth day was shorter than it is today
Okay.
because the planet was spinning faster. It might sound crazy, but there were actually 400 days in a year. This means every day was
What?
21.9 hours long. And if you thought there wasn't enough time in a day to get everything done now, you would have really been pressed for time 400 million years ago.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen in the future to the length of the day
Oh.
for the Earth? We know that one day now is about 23 hours, 56 minutes, not 24 hours. This is why we add an extra day every 4 years.
That makes
to make
sense.
sure that our calendar stays in sync.
It adds
At
up.
the rate at which the Earth is slowing down due to the pull of the moon, in 140 million years, a day will be 25 hours long.
Wow.
Obviously, you and I won't be around to witness a 25-hour day,
Probably
but
not.
given enough time, the Earth could stop spinning altogether. At that point, one day would be the equivalent to one full rotation of the Earth around the Sun, or 8,760 hours long.
This is getting
But
scary.
even future generations don't need to worry about this happening. The Earth will be destroyed long before it stops spinning. We're not talking about
This is
doomsday
getting
or-
worse
Wait,
and
is he talking
worse.
about cyborgs?
Instead, we're referring to the time it'll take for our sun to turn into a red giant and consume
Oh,
the Earth.
yeah.
This will happen in about
What do you
5
mean, oh,
billion
yeah?
years,
You
when
knew
the
about
sun
this? You didn't
fuses
tell
all
us?
the hydrogen atoms
Yeah,
at
well,
its
we have
core
5
and
billion
meets
years
the
What are we
to
gonna
figure out
do?
what else to
I
do.
knew Jack was a traitor.
At this point,
He's
the
a part of the
sun
sun
begins to
gods.
expand. There's a chance that the sun doesn't swell to the size of Earth's orbit, but our planet would be so close
The
to
dude's
red
playing
giant that the
blackhole.io.
radiation and heat would be too much for
Agario.
our magnetic shield, and the world would burn up. At this point, Earth would be tidally locked with the sun and would no longer be spinning. Now watch what...
Guys, we're very lucky that we have at least 5 billion years to figure out what would happen if the Earth stopped spinning.
If Earth collided with Mars, which planet would survive?
I'm Team Earth, baby. Earth, 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 Earth.
I don't think either one would survive. They'd both explode.
Well, let's find out.
Comment down below what you
People
think.
around the world go out on the streets and rooftops to look at the amazing cosmic phenomenon. Another planet right next to the moon, a big red one. At first, everyone's excited. Mars showing up out of nowhere is having a strange effect on
I'd
humanity.
be terrified.
Just as the moon can affect the psychological and physical state of some people, Mars is
Is that true? Do you guys ever look at the moon and you're like, psychologically, I feel better?
If I see a full moon, my mood goes up about 35%.
I get scared because I think about how tiny everything is and how tiny I am. And
You are small.
Do you ever look at the moon and think somebody's up there looking back at you?
No.
No, there's no life on Mars.
unexpected visit is causing people to behave pretty strangely. Every night, the sky is lit up by the white light of the moon and the red glow of Mars.
Looks like evil and darkness.
Many people get
I
a
like
sort
that.
of instant
It's like something out of
insomnia.
Star Wars.
Some even stop drinking coffee because they no
What?
longer feel sleepy. Mars brings out energy and
Is
a
that a
little
thing?
wildness in
Is this
people,
true? That's
making
crazy.
them laugh more, and even drives a few poor
No.
people crazy.
No.
Okay, wait, why would it make us more energetic?
With the light.
Like the red light is
Yeah.
just known to make you more energetic and then you're happier.
I'm pretty sure. It's like the infrared sauna.
Maybe
I
we're
feel like
all werewolves and vampires.
it's making people kind of crazy.
Almost, yeah, like insomnia, yeah. Because they wouldn't be able to sleep with those bright lights.
Why
They
not?
begin to go out of their houses more often and enjoy the unusual night sky. A few days later,
'cause
everybody
technically
can
you could
see what's
survive.
happening. Mars is getting bigger.
What are you talking
Scientists
about?
announced that the red planet
People go to sleep because it's nighttime and it's dark outside. But if the Mars was outside, then we'd stay awake all the time because it would always be sunny.
Adam, I want you to shut your eyes right now. Is it light or is it dark?
It's dark.
Yeah, so what are you talking
People
about?
go to bed because it's dark.
People go to bed because they're tired.
No,
What?
it's because of the moon cycle, but the Mars cycle would throw you all out of work. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Why? But the Mars,
is
it wouldn't
slowly
be like the
moving towards
sun.
Earth.
It would be
a
pretty dark.
collision is inevitable. Earthlings only have a few years left. A few months
That
ago,
is some build.
a huge asteroid crashed into the red planet with
That
such
is a
force
bread
that Mars
ball.
simply
No
flew
way.
out of its own orbit
Home
and went
run.
rogue. The chance
What?
that Mars would fly close to Earth was always going to be pretty high. After about 3 seconds of being
Really?
announced, the news went viral and panic set in. The situation's getting
anybody remember
worse
this?
and worse.
No.
The closer Mars gets, the more it affects people on a physical level. Hundreds of videos
gosh.
pop up showing collision simulations of Mars
That's
and
exactly
Earth.
what we're watching.
And there's no happy ending. Want to see what happens? One famous blogger
Yeah?
asked her followers. The Earth's almost completely covered with water, and Mars is
That's
all
true.
dust, sand,
true.
and rocks. Then she puts a huge watermelon in the middle of her room. From the far
Okay.
end, she launches a bowling ball at it.
Bang!
Strike. Mars looks almost the
So
same
that's what would
size
happen?
as the moon now.
Yeah.
It's about to come.
Wait. Mars is not the same size as the moon, is it?
That's what I'm saying, bro. If Mars comes out, it's like this teeny tiny, way up in the sky.
Guys,
You can
guys,
barely
guys,
see it.
It's
just
not.
looks like
You
a
guys
red
are
dot.
dumb. He's
moon.
saying that
Adam,
Mars is
stop.
way further back than the moon.
Mars is twice the size of the moon.
We know this, but it's further back.
It's so far away.
All three balls, the Earth, Mars, and the moon, they are rock and metal. All three balls.
I only have
Thank
two
you.
of those.
Thanks.
Okay.
into the moon's orbit, and it's affecting
Look,
the Earth's magnetic
thank you. It's getting
field.
bigger.
Floods,
It's coming.
hurricanes,
Into the moon.
tsunamis,
Wow.
powerful thunderstorms.
That's crazy.
They go from bad to worse. Animals go crazy.
Wow.
Birds no longer migrate
Animals go
south.
crazy.
The polar northern lights appear in the Caribbean.
Whoa, that's
The
cool.
economy isn't handling the news that well.
I wouldn't.
People stop showing up to work. Why
Same.
wouldn't they? They just want to.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so let's say today you guys got news that Mars is coming and it's gonna hit Earth in a year. What do you do?
I would start building nukes.
I'd build a giant bunker.
How, you guys have zero skills. How are you going to do that?
I would
Alex'
hire
dad is
someone
really
to build a
handy.
giant bunker.
But the people that you're gonna hire, they're not gonna care. They're gonna build them a bunker for themselves.
That's true.
I would pay them in any way possible to live in their bunker.
Wait, but if they don't like money, what will you give them?
You don't want to know.
Entertainment.
Alec could be like a jester from the olden ages.
That's a good question.
You're not gonna like the answers, Jack. Let's just say I'm gonna entertain.
To have fun and
actually
be
like
with
that.
loved ones. There
Adam's
are enough
solution is always
resources
to
on
use
the
little
planet
boys.
to last until the catastrophe.
They're very
so
disgusting.
no one's even trying to fix the Earth's problems. Clothing, food, cars, yachts,
This is like the movie
whatever.
Don't Look Up.
Everything loses its value and becomes free. Every day, huge street parties
Hey.
pop up all over the world. People decide to live their last months in peace and harmony.
Those last few months will be
The global
crazy fun, though.
Uniting
Wow.
humanity like never before. To go out with a bang,
play so much
Earthlings team
Fortnite.
up to
I think this is
organize a huge
incorrect.
rock concert. The Red Giant destroying our
I think this is completely wrong. I totally
think so?
disagree.
No,
No,
there would be a
I feel
large
like-
amount of people doing this, Alex.
There would be so many people just celebrating.
it would be total anarchy, bro. No one would care about any laws. People would be running around rampant, stealing things, just going crazy. Like, yeah, people will party, but like, I think most people would just break all the laws that they can and just do whatever they want.
Is that what you would do?
I don't think so, but I think that's what a lot of people would do.
But why?
Because there's only a year left to live, and so people are just gonna do whatever they want.
Well, why can't they just do that right now?
Because it's against the law.
But that doesn't stop people today.
Because they don't want to spend the rest of their life in
Because-
prison. But the prison doesn't even exist, Jack.
Exactly.
beautiful
Probably.
Assassins
planet.
and such.
Yeah, rock and roll's the perfect soundtrack. There's just enough time to eat, dance, party, and listen to good music. Huge stages are built all over the planet. It's every musician's last concert.
Okay, I would definitely
During
not be
all
listening
that
to that type of music.
preparation, hope suddenly appears.
Hey,
Scientists have calculated all the events that'll occur when Mars crashes into Earth, and they have a simple plan. Luckily, humans
Okay.
had already planned
bubble.
on moving to Mars,
Yes.
so they already have been
all
building
right.
spaceships for years. There's no time to get
Sweet.
to another planet before the collision. But the good news is that people can wait out the disaster just outside Earth's
it's not
orbit.
going to be a lot of people.
You get to
Ooh.
sit in a space station, munch some popcorn, relax, and
that be real?
enjoy
That's
the show.
only going to be about 0.5%
When
of the
dust
population.
settles, it might just
Probably
be
less.
possible to return
Way
to
less.
Earth, or what's
Wouldn't they
left
get
of
hit
it.
by debris?
Essentially, it's like Wall-E, right? Like with the plot of Wall-E, that we would just like go out into a giant space station and kind of just like wait for Earth to be fine again.
Yep.
Like
So-
the 100.
I like
Yeah,
Wall-E.
it could be
way
like the
better.
100. Do you think that that's like a plan in place right now? Like, there's obviously the International Space Station, but do you think that they have like spaceships ready to take a large amount of the population into space?
No, not a large amount, but probably about like 10,000.
Probably like the billionaires.
Yeah.
The billionaires are going to be able to
The
go.
billionaires and all the content creators on YouTube.
Right. Okay. That sounds good. They're going to need entertainment somehow.
Of it. After learning about this plan, people start working on finishing the ships night and day. Everyone in the world pitches in.
Yay.
There are still 2 years left before the big day. The huge concert stages are converted into more space stations.
Why wouldn't they do
Mars
this
is now
earlier?
giving people more energy.
'Cause they had to
And with
celebrate.
epic teamwork, people managed to create thousands of stations in just a few months.
Really?
That's what happens when
Okay.
7 billion people work together. Farmers, physical
Actually, that's a good
therapists,
point. You guys think like with everybody working together, if there isn't like crazy anarchy, like that we would actually be able to get more people into space.
I think so. There's a lot of lazy people.
Adam, you got to think though. Do you remember the space race? Have you ever like read about the space race between us and Russia?
Yeah.
Adam. Okay, I was gonna say.
Right? Yeah, you know about that. When we like all of our budget and all of our manpower was spent on like, let's get to space before Russia. And we literally had so many technological advances within like that 10-year span. So imagine if we had to do that again.
Wasn't that fake?
Some people say so.
Some people do say it's fake.
I hope not.
chefs, engineers, athletes, accountants, all on the same team. Mars is now closer to us than the moon. The red giant blocks out the sun, and our planet is plunged into darkness.
No.
There are only a few
Alec
days
is raiding
left.
and pillaging.
People are working like ants in a massive colony, putting the finishing touches on several 100,000 space stations.
Why are they
takes
painting it, bro? You're about to
I
die.
know, right? Who
Everyone to
cares
get
about
on
the stupid
board.
paint?
Plus,
gotta
there's the
look
loading
nice
of
when the aliens
supplies,
come and take us over.
animals, fish, seeds, plants, vegetables, fruits, video
Oh,
games,
Noah's
fruit roll-ups.
space-
Video games, come
The
on!
red giant is scheduled to enter Earth's orbit in a couple
Fortnite.
of days.
They're gonna be playing
That is
Fortnite
so
outside.
scary.
Will really pick up speed. Mars is only a little more than half the size of Earth, but up in the sky, it looks infinitely huge.
Whoa.
The ships start taking off.
See ya.
People take a last look around, memorizing
oh,
every
sorry,
inch.
Alec.
In a few hours, it'll all
have to leave
change
you behind.
forever. The stations fly up far enough away to clear any orbits.
That's not a lot of
Two
people in those
worlds
spaceships.
colliding together should still have a soundtrack, though. Rock stars on every ship organize an outer space music
Why are they
festival.
gonna throw this in? No, they're
To the
not.
awesome sound of rock.
There's gonna be so many
Mars
people left
enters
behind.
Earth's
They're not gonna
atmosphere
start
and
celebrating.
burns a thin layer
This is
of
like
its
what would
own
be the worst day in
surface.
history.
This releases an incredible
be
amount
the
of
last
energy.
day in history
It
for
gets
Earth.
Here we go.
faster and faster.
This is
and
what happens.
smashes into the Pacific
I think it's just gonna
Ocean.
splash.
A huge blast wave sweeps across the entire
Can't the water
planet.
just absorb Mars?
Everything is lit up by flames, and everyone on the ships has to put on sunglasses to avoid being blinded. Our blue
Really?
planet is turning into a fiery one.
It's gonna turn to the
The
sun.
dust of Mars
Oh my gosh,
mixes
go
with
turn
the
this-
water of Earth. The force of the impact goes through the Earth's crust into the liquid hot magma. Hundreds of pieces of Mars, some the size of entire countries, are somehow floating in the atmosphere. The collision generates so much energy that all oceans boil and evaporate.
No.
Seas and rivers of molten metal are now spreading all over Earth.
Holy
We lost
smokes.
water?
Days, weeks, months pass. A belt made up of bits of Mars forms around the Earth. It's like a fiery version of Saturn. It'll take a long time before it's safe to land back down.
Yeah, wouldn't it take like
Humanity
millions of
can't
years?
stay alive on the ships all that time.
They're gonna run out of water.
Food, water, and oxygen
air.
will run out after a few years.
That's it?
But scientists already have a plan.
VR? Wait, there's some sort of headset.
What's our plan?
Can't they make their own like plant system and they grow trees and stuff inside to get oxygen?
How are they gonna
Yeah.
water it, Alec? They don't have any water.
We need to figure out a
If
way
you
to
don't have
get
any water, you are
you can
screwed.
filter,
You're done.
You filter your pee.
It's a Minecraft.
Your
You
pee.
filter your pee and then you can drink that again. Yeah.
What?
That's what they do in space.
Yeah.
That is true. Eventually
Actually,
you'll run out, but you know, you'll. at
They
least get
say
more.
Oh.
they say that all water that you've drank has been consumed already and peed out by dinosaurs.
That is what they say.
That's what they say.
No.
So you always are drinking dinosaur pee.
It's
No.
true.
Don't ask me who,
Ad-
but they
Adam,
say
you're drinking
it.
my pee. You're drinking Alex.
No, I don't do that anymore.
pee. You're drinking pee, Adam.
No!
The ships flip a switch and become huge cryo chambers. The ships are equipped with energy panels, and the roasting hot Earth's giving off a lot of energy.
Wow.
Totally enough to keep the ships working while everyone on board takes a few
is like
thousand-year
WALL-E.
nap. As soon as the planet cools down, humans will wake up. Hundreds of thousands of years pass. One day, alarms go off simultaneously on all the ships.
Wake up. Time for
People
school.
wake up slowly. Their bodies are exhausted.
been in VR for
but
thousands
after
of years.
A few billion cups of coffee.
That's what we're in right
everyone's
now.
Ready to go. Down on Earth, new continents should have formed, and the atmosphere is most likely way different. The planet might have lost its original orbit, so it might be spinning at a different angle. The seasons, as we know them, gone. All the water on Earth evaporated in the first few hours.
Can it even be
But there are huge
habitable?
glaciers on Mars, which might have melted on impact. Mars may have shared its water with our planet.
Oh.
The clouds of dust and dirt should have settled by now, and the ground should be pretty good for growing stuff on. All that magma probably spewed up a bunch of useful minerals and chemicals. It's going to be difficult, but humanity
so
somehow
cool.
must adapt to the new
Kinda,
Earth.
yeah, that does look cool.
People are ready for anything. All the Earthlings run to the nearest windows to
Okay.
see what their beloved planet looks like after all these centuries. Where is it?
Alec
People
made
are
it.
craning their necks, looking out at the empty spot where the Earth used to be.
What?
Where are we?
The impact of Mars was so
we
strong
pushed-
that it pushed the Earth out of its
Whoa.
orbit around the sun.
Yo!
It's gone.
So where
Great.
do we go?
What
Wait,
are we
the-
gonna
what?
do now? Some bearded guy grabs a guitar
Oh,
and says,
my.
"Let's play."
Why are they all red-haired? We're screwed.
Sounds
Earth is
all my
screwed.
red-headed.
The whole universe is in the fate of the red-hair people.
If Mars hits Earth, I learned one thing, and that's we're gonna have a giant concert. We're gonna have a rock concert, and we're all gonna die.
They're all gonna die. Tribute.
What would happen if we poured all of Earth's water onto the sun? Would it extinguish it?
Would it explode the sun? Would it form a black hole?
Well, today we're gonna find out.
What would happen if we poured all of the Earth's oceans on it? Or even more water? Well, let's find out.
I don't think the Earth's water is enough. I think
That's
they're
not
gonna need a
even
lot
close
more
to
water.
being enough because the sun is how many times bigger than planet Earth?
I
it's
think
like
it's like
1,000
1,000
times bigger, if
I
not
think
more.
so. Yeah. And it's literally a giant fireball. It's not like some of it's fire. The whole thing is one giant fireball.
I'm gonna predict that it would take 10,000 Earth's waters to put out the sun.
We would need 1.3 million Earths to fit all of the Earths inside of the sun.
Oh my God.
all right, Jack. All right, you're getting
That
way
is
too
so
scientific.
many.
It's a lot bigger than we thought.
Holy cow.
Let's see what this guy says about it.
The universe is a place full of mysteries. Since scientists have been arguing
What even
about
is
how
that?
space works, but none of us has ever doubted the existence of one thing.
The sun.
The sun.
Well, obviously we can see it.
The center of our solar system.
Alec.
It's big, bright,
Thanks.
and immortal? Nah, not really. Actually, the sun is just an ordinary star. It consists of 75% hydrogen, a little helium, and a pinch of other heavy elements.
All right.
Gravity
Interesting.
holds it all
Heavy
together.
elements.
But
what could those
in
be?
around 5 billion years, the life cycle of the sun will come to an end. The
5
hydrogen
billion
inside
years.
it will run out, Our star will begin to grow gradually, and you can't even imagine just how big it will become. And then it will start eating all the nearby planets.
What?
That's when we'll regret being so close to it.
How was it going to get that
After
big?
eating us all, the star will remain a red giant. For
Well, luckily he said like what 5 billion years, so I think we're chilling.
We have 5 billion years to figure out how to get out of our solar system. I think we can do it.
I don't know. It's not that
What
much
do you
time,
mean?
guys. It's
5
not that much
billion
time.
years? I don't even think we've
That's
been.
literally 1 billion more years than 4 billion years.
Wow. Now that you put it that way, I think you're right.
We're going to be
facts.
able to do it. Don't even
so
worry,
close to
guys.
it.
We have a lot of
After
time.
eating us all, the star will remain a red giant for
Sun's
another
hungry.
billion years or so. And then,
That's
sooner or
crazy.
later, it will begin to shrink and fade, turning into a white dwarf. In the end,
It bulks and then
nothing
it
will remain
cuts.
of it but a bright and colorful planetary nebula.
Seems like we should start pouring water on it like now, right?
We got to wait at least 1 billion more years. Yeah, we need to
Alright.
figure out
Yeah,
where we can get some more
This
water.
is a great video actually, because if we find out how much water we need to pour on it, then we're chilling.
Well, yeah, we
All
can
we
go back to
need-
this video and then we can figure it out.
Yeah.
All we need is a giant fire hose. And just
Okay.
shoot it at it, you know?
Okay.
That could
Yeah.
work. That could work.
Let's see what this guy's say.
That could
Made of
work.
it but a bright and colorful planetary nebula.
Maybe.
But don't get scared. Right now, the sun is in the middle of its life cycle. It was born about 4.5 billion
Dang,
years ago,
Dang,
and
dude.
about the
crisis.
same amount of
Whoa.
time remains. Fortunately, we were born during the star's best and most
Let's go! Oh, my nipple.
no reason
Let's
to
go,
worry.
humans.
So
Okay.
let's find one. How about speeding up the sun's life cycle with the help of water? We'll try to collect all the water on Earth and pour it onto the sun. First,
How much water do you think is on Earth? If you guys had to guess right now.
3
I'm gonna
trillion
say-
gallons.
I'm going to say probably 1.2 trillion tons.
So you're
What
going by
about in
weight. All right,
gallons?
I'm gonna go for 5 trillion gallons.
You just say what?
Oh,
okay.
I'm gonna say 120,000 blue whales.
I'm gonna say 100 trillion gallons of water.
100 trillion.
100
I forget
trillion.
what I said. All right, let's
You
go.
said
I
5.
don't even know.
I said 5,
How
that's
many-
it?
How many quarts is that, Alec?
That's like
This is 1 gallon.
1.6 sextillion quarts.
You guys see how
Okay.
big a gallon is? That's like bigger than my head. So imagine
Yeah, so
5
100
trillion.
trillion of those.
We need 5 trillion atom heads worth
Yes.
of water.
Oh, now that you put it
we'll
that
need
way,
a bucket.
probably like
Collect
3.
all the water on Earth and pour it onto the sun. First, we'll need a bucket.
One bucket.
No, not this one. We'll need a really, really big bucket.
Huge
Oh,
bucket.
wow,
That can
holy.
contain
Alex
around
mom size.
326 million cubic miles of water. It will be equal in size to the distance from Washington to Chicago.
What?
Or if we can only find ordinary buckets, there should be around 70 quintillion of them.
Oh!
This is a number with 18
Do we
zeros.
even
way
have that many
off.
buckets?
Wait, we were a little bit off, just a tiny bit off.
How many gallons is
Per
in
bucket?
one bucket?
It's got to be at least a 1 gallon, right?
Let's say 1
Dude.
gallon per bucket.
Those
Did he
look
say
like 1 gallon
quintillion?
buckets.
I've never even heard of the number quintillion.
I think that's 1
Alec
after
only
a
thinks
trillion.
of Alex. What'd you say? Sextillion? 1.6
Yeah.
sextillion?
Okay, so we have hundreds here, then we have thousands, then we have millions, then we have
Billions
trillions,
and
billions, then
trillions.
Then
trillions.
trillions.
Then what's that one?
What, sextillions or quintillion?
Quadrillion.
I don't know. Whoever gets
Oh
past
god,
a
bro.
trillion.
Oh
A
god.
think it's
trillion is such a big
quadrillion.
number, you never hear any other numbers.
70 quintillion of them.
70
This is a number with
quintillions.
18 zeros.
That's a whole lot of
Okay,
zeros.
Imagine that we magically
If you divide
got
that
many
number-
buckets. It's
If you divide that number by 70 quintillion, that's how many brain cells Adam has.
Adam, can you do that math?
70 quintillion divided by 70 quintillion equals Adam.
He's grabbing his TI-84 calculator. We'll check it back in with Adam later.
time to put out the sun. We splash the star with all this water and nothing? Oh,
Nothing?
just look at this. The sun has probably felt sorry for us and produced one little solar flare. It turns out that all water on Earth is actually just a pathetic drop for the sun. People often
What?
underestimate how much bigger the sun really is than our planet. In reality, it can fit more than 1,003,000 Earths.
Holy
So,
cow.
yes,
That's what
the
I
sun
said!
Won't go out or even get colder. It won't even notice that we've done something. Give
That's
up.
crazy.
We really want the sun to go out for some reason.
Wow.
What happens if we pour just enough water on it? And how much
much
is
is
this
that?
enough? Remember our quintillions of buckets? Well,
Yes.
we actually need about 370 octillions of them.
I don't even know
This
how
number
big that
has
is.
27 zeros.
Oh
Wow.
my
It's
It's hard
gosh.
to even imagine. So let's just say that
Oh
it's a
my
lot
gosh.
of water.
One!
Oh,
Oh,
Is it 1?
Yeah!
Good job, Adam!
Let's go!
Yeah! That's
All right,
how
I'm
many.
back.
That's how many brain cells you have.
1 brain cell.
Aw.
Let's splash it all over the sun again. Wow, just look at the steam. But the sun hasn't
Do you
gone
guys
out
think
again.
it's gonna make obsidian?
On the contrary, it said thank you and
Oh,
suddenly
that's a lot
became
of
much
obsidian.
bigger.
One
and
giant
brighter.
obsidian block.
What's happening?
Wait, it gets bigger and brighter?
Guys, maybe after this we can make another portal and like there's a whole new dimension in real life.
Did you guys just hear that? Well, I think another portal is actually a black hole, but that's a different conversation. But did you guys just hear that if we pour, I think it was like 180
87
octillion buckets of water,
Yeah.
that
We got
the
up to
sun would get
octillion, Adam.
bigger. It doesn't go out, it gets bigger.
It embraces the code.
It eats it like it's a Big
eating
Mac.
it. It's bulking up from the water.
You see, the sun isn't actually a campfire. Inside bonfires, candle flames, there's a chemical combustion. When we pour water on the fire, the water absorbs the heat of the flame and cools it to such an extent that it can no longer maintain the burning reaction. It also blocks the fire's
suffocates
access
it.
to oxygen. Water basically stops the chemical process. But the burning of the sun isn't the same reaction. Even though we say it burns, it's not entirely
yeah.
true. What happens there is called nuclear fusion. It's one of the most violent and craziest reactions in the universe. There are many layers of hydrogen going deep into the sun. If you take 4 hydrogen atoms and ram them together, you're left with an atom of helium. When we talk about the sun, the process is a little more complicated. When the star tries to carry out that fusion, positive protons repel each other. It takes a lot of force and
I'm
energy
getting
to somehow
confused.
squeeze them together. Fortunately, there's a magical force in space. It's gravity. The sun takes up 99.8% of all the mass of the solar system.
All right, Alec, can you explain to us what he just said the past minute in your own words?
So 99.8% of the sun is fire.
I'm talking about before that. Before
No.
that.
Water, you
Wrong.
put water on fire and it extinguishes it, but it doesn't work that way for the sun because things come together for the sun.
I knew he
And
was.
they don't do that on Earth.
He was not understanding.
So,
I think Alec has half the brain cells of Adam.
so water no good against sun.
Water makes sun big.
Water makes sun big.
Pretty heavy, right? And all this mass is what holds the sun together with the help of an incredible gravitational force. So, gravity takes quadrillions of these little hydrogen atoms and pushes them together every second of every day. And when they collide, they release some energy. So, unlike fire, the sun doesn't need oxygen to live. It
Right,
needs
there's no oxygen in
hydrogen.
space.
Oh yeah.
And we all know that water is
H2O,
It consists of
two hydrogen.
and oxygen. So this is literally
Burns the
fuel for
oxygen
the sun.
and absorbs the hydrogen.
It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. More importantly, the extra mass added by water will make the sun heavier. Now, gravity says,
That's
thank you for your help.
crazy.
And then it starts to collide protons with each other even faster.
Oh my
and
gosh.
thanks to this, the synthesis speeds up.
So the sun is invincible. Like
the
how
sun
would we?
starts getting bigger and bigger.
How would we
just from
destroy
that.
the sun?
Maybe
can't.
gasoline is its kryptonite. We do the Uno reverse.
Can we mute Alec? What is he even talking about?
I'm just saying, because gasoline works on our planet, but it doesn't there. And water diffuses situations here, but it doesn't there. So Uno reverse.
So you want to put gasoline on the sun?
He's trying to Uno reverse the sun like it's some sort of card game.
I don't
No one's tried
understand.
it before. No one's tried it before. I'm just saying. It could be worth a
Maybe,
shot.
maybe Alec is right. Let's watch until the
No
end
one's
to find
tried
out.
anything before. We haven't gotten close to the sun.
The sun incredibly strong, and now it has eaten us, along with other nearby planets. And if we
So we're all
keep
dead.
adding water, the sun will sooner or later collapse in on itself.
Ooh.
It will blow
Okay.
off its outer layers and become a black hole. Awesome.
Yes, 'cause
now
it got
will
too
pull
big.
inside absolutely
Oh.
everything around. Good job, guys. Let's
What?
press rewind because
made another
clearly
portal.
our water experiment was
You're
a
right,
mistake.
Adam.
Yeah, I was right. We make another portal. If we put too much water onto the sun, it creates a black hole, which is
portal.
another portal.
It's a portal.
To somewhere. That's pretty cool.
One small
don't know
solar
where.
flare sounds much better. All right, we're back to our usual calm sun. But it seems like there's something that we've forgotten. Well,
Yeah, what happens to
apparently
us?
water was critically important for life on Earth. Who would have thought? Now there's a huge amount of unmoving fish and other marine creatures lying around where the oceans used to be.
Yeah.
Poor things.
And the sun got bigger.
As for deep
Yeah, so
sea
it'll
creatures,
get hotter.
they simply didn't withstand such a sharp change in pressure. Algae and corals have also dried up.
GGs.
Wait a minute. Weren't they responsible for producing 50 to 80% of the world's oxygen?
Uh-oh.
Oops.
Yeah.
It's time to put on some oxygen masks. And how are things on dry land? I mean, now everything is just land. But you get the point. Wow, this whole place is lit, and I mean it literally. If there are no oceans, then there are no clouds or rain. Now there are forest fires everywhere.
Wow.
Poor animals have to escape and leave their home. Oh my.
That's rough.
And it's not like they'll be able to find a new home, because all plants, of course, will dry up quickly. There will be literally no place for living left on the
So essentially, isn't that what happened to Mars?
I
All
was
of the
thinking that
water
too.
evaporated and then everything burned, you know, like a couple billion years ago. Was there ever water on Mars? There was, yeah. They've done tests. It's still there. It's just like deep beneath the surface. Wait, so was there life on Mars? There could have been billions of years ago. We gotta watch a video on that. Leave a like if you want to see a video on that.
That should be pretty cool.
That's crazy. Are we going to
We could
Mars
double
right
our
now?
brain cells. I don't know, guys. 20,000 likes and we'll think about it.
You love that like goal. You love that 20,000.
I do.
So now Earth looks like a giant desert. Great! But people have been living in deserts for thousands of years, right?
That is true.
Maybe they'll know
But
what to do.
everyone needs water.
They won't.
And oxygen.
After all, people in the desert.
Well, Alec, the camels are gonna have water in like their camel back, so we could just use that probably
Oh,
for a
true.
little bit.
We just drink camels pretty much. It's all
She
camel
Drink from the
water.
camel's humps.
Right.
Yeah.
I love camel
Yeah.
humps.
Drink from the hump.
to drink.
Yes.
So now there's total chaos everywhere, and survivors fight for the last drops of water, if there are any survivors at all. In fact, no matter how much they fight for resources, their fate is sealed. The ocean absorbs a huge amount of CO2 and the heat coming from the sun. They also distribute this heat throughout the planet, making it pleasant to live on. But once they're
Oh,
gone,
okay.
the temperatures will quickly jump to 250
Yeah,
degrees Fahrenheit
makes sense.
and above.
We can't survive that.
But
Alec just
We're gonna
said
have to
it
go
makes
underground.
sense.
That makes sense. If there's no water, then it'll get real hot.
Alec
It'll
has
get
not
hot.
been following anything that's happening in this video.
It makes sense. Trust me. It makes sense. You just gotta trust me.
Alec knows his
Just
stuff.
gotta trust me, dude.
It
Come
makes
on.
sense. It just makes sense.
Alec is a certified scientist.
high temperatures, now we have no clouds, and they helped us too by not letting through solar radiation. So we're also
Yup,
under the
solar
direct
radiation,
impact
Adam.
of the sun's rays. Our last hope is icebergs.
Yeah.
Now that everything is terribly hot, they've melted.
Oh.
And maybe they'll be the last hope for humanity.
Oh,
but
cool.
that cool solar flare was definitely worth it. Silly humans.
Silly humans.
Well, moral of the story, we're not gonna put water on the sun. And you shouldn't too, because it's a bad idea.
There are 8 billion people in the world. What would happen if they all lived in one building? Well, we're about to find out.
A little over 3 months ago, I released a video about what if everybody on Earth lived inside the same
Adam,
city.
that's the
Today,
Earth,
we're going
if
to
you
talk
didn't
about
know.
something perhaps even more terrifying.
The Earth's flat.
What if everybody on Earth lived inside the same
That has to be the tallest
How
building
large
of
would
all
this building
time.
have to be to house all 7.4 billion of us alive?
There's over 8
right
billion
now?
people nowadays.
It's not as strange
So
of a
even more.
question as it
I think it would have to be at least 3,000 feet. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna say it probably touches the moon.
Yeah, well, it matters
No,
how wide
no,
it is,
no,
too.
no,
If it's just like a 1 foot by 1 foot giant, like, it matters how
even
wide
fit
it
in
is.
it.
All right, calm down,
Alec,
Cyrus. Calm
Alec is
down,
only
Alec.
3
Calm
feet
down.
wide.
I didn't know, like, how wide.
How wide
Alec,
are the
you're
people
3
or
feet
you?
wide. You
'Cause,
got
yeah, you're big, buddy. You need to calm
Yeah,
down.
you're
You're
gonna
not
need
fitting in
some
this
space.
building.
Okay, I'm gonna say the building needs to be 3 miles high.
At least 4 Alex wide.
3
more.
miles high.
It's gotta be more.
It's not as strange of a question as it may seem at first. This picture right here is the town of Whittier, Alaska, and by that I mean that the entire town is located inside of this one building.
Whoa.
The
What?
entire city's
Everyone lives in
population of
there.
214 people.
Oh,
for
that's
the
That's
most
not
part,
a lot of
lives
people.
inside
Not a lot
this
of people.
single building, and they really don't have to ever leave it. This is
Okay.
because almost all of the
Imagine that building. That was only 200 people. Imagine 7 billion people. How big that building would have to be. That building was big.
That building was like the size of an apartment complex
Really
in
trying to
Idaho.
understand.
Why
So
is
it-
Alex
it-
so
it-
torqued up?
It's like
this?
kind of big, but like it was only maybe like 100 feet tall. So let's 100 feet times 7.4
I didn't know
billion.
Alec
can't
had
wait to
such
see.
a fascination.
That's
Neither did
gotta
I,
be,
but this is
it's gotta
interesting,
be
dude.
all the way to the moon. That's what
This
my
is-
guess
this
is.
is
Make sure you
true.
guys comment down below what you guys think. How tall would this building have to be?
To Mars? To Jupiter?
No,
to
no,
Saturn?
no.
just the moon. Just the
I don't
moon.
know.
You would normally find inside of a city are all located inside of the building. Inside, you can find the city's police department, the post office, the mayor's office, a general store, a grocery store, a hospital,
How
a
is that
laundry
all
That's
in
pretty
there?
cool.
hotel, a church in the basement,
Wow.
and even an indoor playground complete
Oh,
with
cool.
a swimming
What?
pool.
That's
The
actually pretty
building
cool.
is the
For
city,
200
and
people.
the residents of the city
looks
can
crooked.
stay indoors almost indefinitely whenever the weather begins to get bad because all of the city's services as well as their homes are all located inside of it. But even still, just 214 people live here,
That's
which
not
is
even
nowhere
close to
near the
7.4
entire human
billion.
race. So let's get
That's
bigger
what I
and
was
bigger
saying.
buildings
Pretty
with
close.
the largest seating capacity. The AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas,
100,000,
is the home of the Dallas
120,000.
Cowboys and is truly
64,000.
enormous, larger than the U.S. Capitol building and capable
Yeah,
of
it's-
seating
it's less than what I
80,000
said.
people, which means that you could
80,000
comfortably
people.
seat the
That's a
entire
lot of people.
population of Andorra.
But that's just
inside of
like
it.
seating
But
them.
it
That's
still
not
isn't
taking
as big
care
as
of
the
them.
largest indoor
That's true.
stadium in the world, which is located here in Pyongyang, North Korea, and is called Rungrado
130,000.
First of May Stadium. It has
Oh,
the
wow.
capacity to seat 114,000
Ooh,
people.
wow,
or
that's a
join
lot of people.
What do they
34,000
have
more
there?
That's in North Korea?
They have,
Yeah, but-
I would say, about 114,000 seats.
What do you think
Well,
they
what
do
do they
there?
do there? Like, what kind of activities?
Do they just like
It's
fight?
probably
to the
soccer,
death?
if I had to guess.
A
Soccer.
potato race? Like a sack
potato race.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, what
Wow.
else? Like, what? I don't know. What else could even be in there? That's that interesting.
I think they do.
gotta be soccer.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Could be.
No, that has to be it. You're right. Great thought. Great thought, Adam. Brain blast.
Good idea, honestly.
Okay, dude.
The AT&T Stadium, or about the same population as the island of Kiribati,
don't
or
know where
about
that is.
20% of the population of Wyoming. But even that
That's
isn't
such a
as big
weird
as the largest
stat.
ever planned indoor stadium, which would have been constructed in Berlin by Nazi Germany had they won the Second World War. The building would have been
That's
called
rough.
the Volkshall and would have been capable of seating 180,000 people
wow.
inside.
Sheesh.
About 5%
That's quite a bit of people.
population of modern-day Berlin. The
Not
building would
anywhere
have been
close to
so
7.4
enormous that
billion,
German
though.
architects calculated that
Well, thank God it didn't get built, you know?
Why are they using this as a reference, bro?
That is good.
Seems like they had the
I-
blueprints and everything for this one.
Yeah, this is very good that this was not built. Let's
Yeah,
keep moving.
seriously. This could have been really bad.
Yeah, I wonder what they would have done in there.
They're
So,
just trying to understand the scale of how big things can get to contain.
that's pretty big. That's a lot of people.
180,000
people.
people,
Like
it's
all of
big,
these
but
people
not
breathing inside of
7.4
it could have
billion
actually
big.
created artificial rain inside, causing the building to have its own weather.
Artificial
if
rain?
we move to outdoor
Oh, wow.
stadiums, however, which would still be one building in a sense, then we can fit much more people. The largest outdoor stadium currently is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, capable of seating 235,000
Whoa,
people,
wow.
less than the entire population of Reno,
Yo.
Nevada. But once
That's
again, the
insane.
Nazis had plans for an even larger stadium
Okay,
in
what
the
is
event
going
of a
on?
victory in World War II. Their plans were to construct the Deutsche Stadion in Nuremberg, which would have been capable of seating a massive 405,000
Holy
people.
cow.
What would you
Bro,
do there?
What is this
Horse
video?
races?
What video?
I don't know. What does this have to do with how many people?
No, they're
can
trying
fit
to.
in
They're
one
trying to make
building?
you understand how many people could fit in a human-made thing.
Whoever made this video brought up Nazi Germany twice. Like, what is their
They had to.
They
The
are
Nazis
doubling
had
down.
big expectations.
They are doubling down on this
Yeah,
theory
seriously,
here.
what is
All
going
right,
on?
405,000. That's 500,000. That's nowhere near. That's
All
not
right,
even
Jack,
1%
lower
of
your voice.
7.4
Lower
billion.
your voice. You're way too like in on this. Like,
I'm just saying, they're trying to get the scale. We're not even close to 7.4 billion.
More than the population of New Orleans and over 5 times the seating capacity of the AT&T Stadium. Hitler planned that after Germany won World War II, every single Olympic Games for the rest of history would take place here at this stadium. But because the war was lost, the stadium was never finished. However, the largest building anywhere in the world in terms of how many people are meant to fit inside of it would be the Great Mosque in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. During the Hajj period, the mosque has the capacity to fit 4 million
Whoa,
people
4
inside
million?
of it, which is greater
Wow.
than the population of
Wait a
Panama.
second,
There
wait a
are
second.
buildings
That's
that could,
insane.
in theory, fit more people than this, though. They're not designed to fit people, but we're going to see what could happen if we did so anyway.
Okay.
Before we get started with this part, though, let's figure out how many people we could safely fit inside of 1 square meter. After a lot of research,
That's a good idea.
it seems that anything over 5
One?
people per square meter could be potentially dangerous
Okay.
and lead to people trampling
5
each other.
people in
So,
1 square
at the
meter? here.
highest limit, let's
Well,
go
yeah,
with
they have
about
to
5
get that
people
so that
on
they can
average,
figure out
meaning-
how tall they can build this giant building.
Dude, everyone's gonna be smushed together. So
Well, yeah, they're trying to make it
this-
smushed but not uncomfortable. They're trying to make sure that everybody like has a good living space.
No, this is not living space though. I was under the impression that everyone would live in this building and like have
They
their
will.
own room, their own.
They will.
No, this is saying 5 people per square meter. That's
No,
a
yeah,
3
they're
by
gonna
3.
live. They're gonna live in that. Some people live in that.
3 feet by 3 feet, Jack. 4 people in each. 5
Less
people.
than that. 3 feet is a yard. A meter's less.
So you're saying that? How would anyone live in that?
They gotta figure it out.
Dude, you're crazy.
I don't know
I think
what
that this
Alex
is just
saying, but I agree with Jack.
Okay, dude. This is just, I'm pretty sure this is just saying how many people could fit in a building, not
Could
like live.
Well, let's see. Let's figure it out.
able to possibly fit into 1 square meter. The largest building in the world in terms of its physical footprint on the Earth's surface is going
Is
to
it
be
Tesla?
the Tesla Gigafactory once it's
Yeah.
finished
Whoa, how'd you know
in
that?
Nevada. It's
I'm really
gargantuan
smart.
Jack
when compared
loves
to the AT&T
Tesla.
Stadium and the U.S. Capitol building, and it would take up a physical space of 530,000 square meters, or a
Whoa.
little larger than Vatican City, which means that you could fit the world's smallest country completely inside of the boundaries of the world's largest building. At 5 people per square meter, that means that you could fit 2,650,000 people
Wow.
inside the building all indoors. More people than live in all
Okay.
of Namibia. So we're at the scale of entire countries worth of people fitting inside one building now, but we can still get much larger. The largest building ever designed in terms of the floor space that it would occupy was the
What is
Crystal
that?
Island building, which would have been
This is
built in
real?
Moscow
Never heard of
were it
that.
not halted. Had it have been completed, it would have
Oh,
possessed
it's not
2.5
completed.
million square meters worth of floor space.
Wow.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh, that
Could
looks
have fit
awesome.
A staggering 12,500,000.
Wow.
More than the entire population of Belgium. But we can still go even bigger if we begin to take a 3-dimensional view rather than the 2-dimensional view that we've had so far. With this in mind, the average height for a modern human is roughly 1.63 meters. Therefore, if we construct a cube with a 1 square meter base and a height of 1.63 meters, then we could fit 5 average humans inside of it. This gives us
Okay.
0.326 cubic meters per person, or 3.07 people per cubic meter. With this math in mind, the largest building in the world in terms of sheer volume is the Boeing Everett factory located in Washington. The building
Oh,
possesses
Boeing.
13.3 million cubic meters
Oh,
located
wow, they can
entirely
fit a lot of
indoors,
people in
which
that.
is
That's
so
a
large
lot
that
of
the building
people.
has its own microclimate somewhat similar to what the proposed Volkswagen in Berlin would have been like. Adding floors into the building with an average height of just 1.63 meters each, capable of fitting the average human inside,
Oh
and we
my
could theoretically
gosh.
fit 40,831,000
no
people
way.
inside of
40
here, which would be
million.
enough
That's like
to hold the
20% of
entire
America.
populations of
That's still
Denmark,
nothing,
Norway,
though,
Sweden,
compared to 8
there's
billion.
still so
Iceland,
many
That's like
more
20
they have to
million,
do.
Alex.
Latvia, and Lithuania all combined and still have room left over for all of Serbia just for good measure. That's the largest building in the world,
Wow.
though, and that's still not even 1% of the entire
So we
human
just
population
do
that
that
could
and then we
possibly fit
stack it
inside
on
it.
top of one
You have
another.
to do that
Just keep
100
stacking.
times.
We could construct a new building, and if we did so, what is the smallest possible size that it could be to fit all of us? Well, at the time of making this video, the world population is currently 7.478 billion people. If
Oh
we
my
crammed
gosh.
people into the same density as we did inside the Boeing factory, then we would require a volume of 2.436 billion cubic meters, or 2.436
Oh my
cubic
gosh.
kilometers. The building would be a cube with sides of 1.346 kilometers in
That is
length
the
and a
death
height of
cube right
1,300
there.
That looks like something from
That
Star
is
Wars.
huge.
This seems big, but placed in downtown New York City, it would actually
Oh.
look like this, inside of which you can actually
It's
fit
Kevin.
every single human.
Well, I mean, they make it seem like it's not that big. Those are
Fortnite already did
skyscrapers
this.
next to it, dude. Like when you stand next to a skyscraper, your neck is broke looking up at it. And this is like 8 skyscrapers tall.
That doesn't
Compared
even-
to
it
a
doesn't
human
look that
being,
big.
yeah, you're not gonna be able to understand the size of this.
Right. I'm just saying it's a lot taller than they make it seem out to be, I think. Because look, like these
Gosh.
little buildings on here, that
It's
is a
the
skyscraper.
size- it's like at least 5 Eiffel Towers. It's got to be at least like 3 Empire State Buildings. It's
More.
huge.
More. These are almost the size of Empire State Buildings at the bottom, like at the bottom of it. It's almost the size of it. That's got to be like 8, probably 9.
Wow.
It is massive. Yeah, that is enormous.
If there was a ladder on the outside and I offered you $50,000 to climb to the top, would you do it,
No, I would not.
Jack?
I'd do it for 60.
Deal.
You guys are crazy.
It's
You
a
guys are
ladder. You just
crazy.
climb the ladder.
Dude,
I'd
that is
climb that
that
ladder.
it is. It's a mile high. I don't think I could
no, it's more.
physically do that.
I'd climb climb it. I'd climb it.
He'd
anyway.
climb it
dude.
because he's not a loser.
And how are you getting down? How
I'm gonna
are you
have
climbing down?
Alec, listen
You
to
take
me.
the elevator.
I'm gonna have a parachute.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
or the
Oh, a
elevator.
parachute could work actually. I didn't think about that. That's fair.
Human being
How tall
alive
is this
today.
cube?
The tallest building in
1.3
the world is the Burj
kilometers.
Khalifa at nearly 830 meters high, but the tallest building under construction that will be done in 2020 is the Jeddah Tower, which will be much higher when finished at
Yo.
1,008 meters.
Whoa.
Only
Oh my
330
gosh.
meters
Is it done?
short
The
of
Jeddah
our
Tower?
Megacube.
That's
the base
tall.
of the cube would only be about
That's half
5
a mile
times larger
high.
than the Tesla Gigafactory as well. So building the cube is certainly within the realm of possibility. And if it was built, the entire human race alive today, all 7.478 billion of us,
We
could
should do
all
it.
fit inside of a building that would only take around half an hour to jog around.
But we couldn't live in it. We would just be able to fit. That's all. That's all it's saying.
Now we need to figure out exactly how tall the building would be if we could all live.
We couldn't live, but could we love?
Agoraphobia is defined as the fear of open spaces, public transit, shopping malls, or simply being outside of your home. But is the
Oh,
fear really
Adam
realistic?
has that.
And is it actually possible to live an entire life completely indoors? And weirdly, if the entire human species suffered from this phobia, then could we all theoretically live inside of one gigantic building and not ever have to leave
Imagine
our
playing
homes,
hide and
or at
seek in
least
that
never have to
building.
leave
That would
the
be
comfort of the building?
awesome.
You'd
The
never
answer is
find
yes,
them.
but let's first
Impossible.
take a
It
look
would
at
be
some
impossible,
real-world
but awesome.
concepts before venturing into the
Dude, the
detailed
staircases
insanity
and the
of all
elevators
living,
in that would
eating,
be
sleeping, and
insanely
breathing
long.
in the same building.
True.
Perhaps the most realistic proposal of fitting an entire city's worth of people inside of the same building is the Shimizu Mega City Pyramid, which is planned to be built
Ooh,
in the
inside
Bay
of a
Tokyo
pyramid.
in Japan. When finished, the pyramid is expected to be 14 times
Oh my
taller
gosh.
than the
What?
Pyramid of Giza
What?
in Egypt at just over 2 kilometers
That can't be
tall,
real.
and will be
No.
No
There's no way they
way.
finished that.
1 million people who will
That's
live
insane.
inside of it. That means
What?
that the building
That's
could support
crazy.
the entire population
That
of
would
the
actually be
US
kinda
state
sick,
of
though.
Montana, or house the population of entire large cities like San Jose, California, or Cologne, Germany. The building would have 8 square
Wow.
kilometers of floor space when finished, which is 4 times larger than the actual country of Monaco, and even larger than the UK territory of
smokes.
Gibraltar.
Dude, that is
However,
insane.
a building this massive cannot actually be built
can't
with
do that.
current construction technology.
I knew it.
Construction is anticipated to begin in the year 2030, and the building is
Okay.
projected to be completed by the year 2110, which is
No!
ludicrous if you think about it.
It's gonna take
That
80
is
year to build?
93
Wow.
years from now, if you're watching
That
this
is
video,
Adam,
way
you were
too
close.
late for us.
which think of all the history that could possibly happen within 93 years, and this building still may not even be finished after all of that. It's not completely unprecedented, however. This cathedral in the city of York first started being built in the year 1220. Imagine being the first person who laid down the first brick to begin building this cathedral. He would have spent his entire lifetime working on the project, and so would have his son, and his son,
Oh my
and
gosh.
his son,
No way.
and his son,
That is
and so
crazy.
on until 252 years later,
No
the cathedral
way.
was
Wow.
finally finished being built. 9 generations would have passed from the time that the first person began working on it. It would have been like if your relative from 1765 had begun building something and you today, right now, just finished it. You probably can't even think of any
Wow.
relatives that you may have even had.
All right,
back
all
then,
right.
And that problem would have been even more
That's
severe
actually
in the Middle
crazy to
Ages.
think about.
A distant
Crazy.
relative would have begun building a building, and their name would have been long forgotten, but you, centuries later, would be still working on and completing what they had originally started anyway. It's very strange to think about, but let's move back to the Mega Pyramid
That's
building
kinda cool,
in the distant
actually.
future of 2110.
I do wanna hear about this
Power
pyramid.
is generated by solar panels on the building's
Okay.
trusses. Transportation is provided
Wait, really?
by massive accelerating walkways, elevators, and personal rapid transit tubes with automated shuttle pods that zip from one part of the building to another. The building is
pretty
full
cool
of
idea.
homes, offices, restaurants, stores, and is a fully functioning
gotta
city
have
of
everything.
1 million people who live
Yep.
entirely indoors. Nobody would have to really ever leave, but 1 million people isn't all of us, so let's envision something like this, but on a much larger scale.
It has to be
First
7
off,
billion
let's
times
envision
bigger.
Where would be the
That would
most
be a
strategic
big pyramid.
location on Earth to place a building that could house all
The Bermuda
7.478
Triangle.
billion of us?
South
My
America.
answer is probably Brazil, and specifically right here. The reasoning for this is
Why?
largely because of water, since 12% of all the Earth's surface freshwater
Oh,
is
that makes
located in
sense.
Brazil, and the second largest dam in the world is located nearby.
Oh, that's
I'll get
cool.
more into the reasoning later, so let's assume that we've moved everybody's houses and homes as they are together into one place. Everybody on Earth gets to keep their current size living space, so what would this look like altogether? For reference, the average US house built in 2013 was 241 square meters in size. According to the UN, however, 13% of the world population lives in 5 square meters or less of living space. 28% have between 5 and 9 square meters of space, 24% have between 10 and 14 square meters, 18% have between 15 and 19 square meters, and only 18% of the world's population lives in 20 square meters or greater sized houses.
Wow. Wait a second. Is that saying? No, that's not saying like what I think it's saying, right? Like okay, like our house is maybe like 300 square meters. I don't know exactly.
I have no idea.
This is saying 2,500 square feet is 240 meters. And this just said 13% of the world's population lives in 5 square meters? 5?
Yeah, it is what it's saying.
Wait, is that a tiki hut? What is that? Or a tiki hut?
It's really tiny.
We're probably in the top like 5% now. Like,
of house owners?
Yeah, no, we're lucky with the space that we have. Most people don't have a lot of space.
But like 5, dude. They said like 10 meters of space.
Yeah, you're probably on top of people.
That is crazy.
That's how some people live.
Small apartments, I guess, counts.
If you're in New York City, you're probably in that 13%.
Like you're talking about like
that.
a literal box. Like you're living in a box, bro.
Your room is like 3 square meters.
Yeah.
That's 13% of the population lives in your room.
I wish.
American houses are certainly not the global norm, and averaging out all of these numbers gives us a building with 90,860 square kilometers of living space in a 2-dimensional view. About the size of Jordan in the Middle East if it was all just one floor. But if we constructed the building to be as high as the current tallest residential building in the world at 414 meters or 101 stories high, then the living space of everybody on Earth would take up an area of around 900 square kilometers on the surface, a little less than the size of the Faroe Islands in Denmark.
Nothing. That
As
is
for
literally
food,
nothing.
after a lot of research, it appears that sweet potatoes are the most calorie-intensive crop that you can grow. If we utilized efficient farming techniques and made use of vertical farms with artificial sunlight, we could construct a 1 cubic kilometer building that would be dedicated solely to producing sweet potatoes for our population. Each cubic
That's all we eat?
I do like sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes to feed over 27 million people a 1,500 calorie per day diet. So if we also built 275 of these buildings connected to the main living space, then we could feed the entire human race
and only
inside
1,500
a
calories. That's
steady diet of
nothing.
pure sweet potatoes. Since humans need to drink 2 liters of water to survive each day, and the nearby dam has a reservoir of 29 cubic kilometers, we could have enough drinking water nearby to last us for over 4,000 years.
What?
Of course, some of the water would be used for other purposes like agriculture, but it would still be enough to last for centuries using all of our needs inside
I didn't
the
realize we
mega
had that
building
much
if we kept
water.
maximum
You got a
efficiency
lot
of
Dude,
water
that
and
looks
nothing
sick.
goes wrong.
That is cool.
Finally,
You would live
we
there?
need space for other things besides just
Probably.
living.
There's
In New York
skyscrapers on
City,
top of
about
a giant
75% of
skyscraper.
the zoning ordinances are for residential property, while the remaining 25% is for commercial, manufacturing, transportation, or park space. If we kept that same ratio in our mega building, then we would add an additional 225 square kilometers worth of building space on the Earth's surface that would stand as high as the residential portion. Altogether, our mega building that could house all of humanity in the same living space that they live in today, complete with all water needs, a diet of pure sweet potatoes, stores, parks, and transportation, would take up an area of 1,339 square kilometers
That
on
is
the Earth's
nothing,
surface,
man.
still just a little smaller than the Faroe Islands in Denmark.
That
The
is
parts devoted
crazy
to
to think
water
about.
storage and agriculture would be 1 kilometer high, and the rest of the building would be 414 meters high. In terms of power, the nearby dam would provide a lot of it, but probably wouldn't be enough to power the entire building. It is
Dam.
estimated that a solar panel array the size of Spain could provide enough power for the entire world's energy needs. So, a grouping of solar panels of this size nearby the building would provide way more than enough, since humanity would be using much less energy all concentrated together.
Okay.
Transportation
Solar
would be
panels
just
around
like
the
in the
world.
Shimizu Mega City pyramid, handled by thousands of elevators, walkways, and
Okay.
automated shuttle pods moving in tunnels inside the building. Life wouldn't exactly be very nice on a diet of sweet potatoes and never being able to leave the
That's
building.
what I'm
But
saying,
in a
man.
catastrophic event like a nuclear war, global warming,
Yeah,
or a
one
meteorite
small
impact that could
fire,
cause living
it's all
outside
over.
to become
The whole
lethal,
building
then
goes
something
into
similar
a
to this
fire,
may
and then
become
everybody's dead.
necessary.
Yep.
The political situation inside would certainly be messy, to say the
That's
least.
true.
There would
That would be
probably a wealthier
crazy.
section with more living space and a poorer section with less.
I feel like the bottom would be a lot of the poorer people, and then like the top would be like the hierarchy,
How did you get to that?
where you actually get like fresh air and stuff.
Are you a genius?
The poor people
my
are on the
gosh.
bottom, and then the
How
rich
did you
people are on
think of
top.
that?
I was thinking about it for a while, actually.
Wait,
this
no
entire
way.
video.
No
Oh my
way. The poor
gosh.
people are on
And-
the bottom, and then
and-
the rich people are on the top.
And you move up the levels as you get richer and richer and richer.
I thought they would be all mixed around, you know, like equality. But
Yeah,
no.
I thought like poor people will live in the mansions on the top of everyone else, but
didn't think
no,
about it
the way
like
you
that.
put it is like that's genius, Adam.
Thanks, guys.
Nice.
Thank
I
you.
don't know if I can
That
think
was
about it
sick.
like that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It may take centuries and generations to build it, and most people would certainly not want to live this lifestyle, but still, it is technically possible that we could all live in the same amount of space that we do now in an area no larger than these islands in the Atlantic Ocean.
I can't believe that. That is absolutely insane.
Wow. That is absolutely insane.
What would happen to the planet if humans never existed? Let's find out.
In just 300,000 years, humans have totally transformed our planet. This
Let's
is in
go.
some good ways. For
thought humans
example,
only existed for,
extending
like,
our lives
20,000 years.
and also creating new technology and ideas.
Jobs.
But humans also
yeah,
have their
Steve Jobs.
downsides. A lot of
do.
damage has
That's
been
true.
done to wildlife and animals by humans.
A lot of litter.
But what
Yeah.
if we never existed?
And
If we
people
were
named
never
Alec.
on this planet?
See,
How
Alec,
different
bro,
would the world
relax.
be?
Oh
And
my
would it be
gosh.
better
I'm a bear,
or
I'd still be
worse?
here.
Get ready to see just how much humans have affected planet Earth. If humans never existed, of course, we would not be the dominant species. If no humans ever existed, then the dominant species would likely be the next thing after humans. Based on
Which
DNA,
is-
this would be chimpanzees.
Wait,
Now,
what?
That would be
How would
false, right? It would be
wait,
like
what?
a lion.
Well, yeah, it would just be based on brute force strength, right?
Like, what's the top of the food chain?
Unpopular opinion. Ants. Look into it, dude. Ants like dominate so much of the world.
Ants
it's
kinda
crazy.
They
dominate right
dominate
now, even
the
with
bug
humans.
world, the insect world, but they don't dominate the actual world. Come on, dude.
Territorial
That's true,
wise,
that's
they
true.
own
Have you
so
ever heard
much
of
though.
anteaters? Have you ever heard of anteaters? How are the ants gonna kill an anteater,
that's
Alec?
true. That's true. They're like vacuums for
If
ants.
they teamed
Come
up
on,
on it,
Use
they
your
could take
brain,
him out.
Alec. Use your brain. I double dog dare you to find any ant that could kill an
I'm
anteater.
gonna make a bold claim. I think eagles would rule the world. They can fly. They have claws.
Okay, that's
Ooh,
a horrible
fast.
take. Horrible take.
What?
Let's continue.
Make sure you guys comment down below what animal you think would be at the top of the food chain if humans never existed.
Chimpanzees share 99% of our DNA.
Just because we share
this
DNA
means
doesn't mean
they are our
they would
closest
rule the
living
food chain.
relatives. They would likely evolve and get almost as
Oh,
smart
wait,
as us
actually?
one
Whoa.
day. But
Actually?
if we're just talking about
Wait,
our
but why does
species of
our
human,
existence
then
matter in the
Neanderthals
chimpanzee
would likely
evolution
take our
scheme?
place. Neanderthals were
don't
very
know.
intelligent
Don't know.
beings despite their media depiction. They
yeah,
were
true.
very early humans, but they were wiped out. This was from Homo sapiens battling them and interbreeding with them. So if only Homo sapiens
Hey,
never
it's me!
existed,
Let's
Homo
go!
neanderthalis would take our place. The natural world would be very different without
Is he's saying it like it's a fact. Is that a fact?
I don't know. It sounds like a lot of it is like scientific speculation. Like they don't know for sure if any of this is actual reality. We'll never know.
Oh wait, that's true because humans exist. Yeah, you're right.
Humans do
You're right.
exist right
You're
now,
right. Nah,
contrary to popular
that's a
belief.
good point. This whole video is hypothetical.
humans. There would be far more drinkable water available. Right now, only 0.007%
Really?
of
What?
Earth's water is accessible to us.
That's our fault?
This is because of various man-made problems.
No way.
For example, creating toxicity in the water. Without humans, the
Dude.
weather would be very different too. The global temperature would be far colder. The climate is affected by nature, like the sun, and humans too.
That would stink.
The lower
True. I love
temperature would
summer.
also cause more snow to fall on Earth. CO2 levels would also be far lower. It's believed that the Industrial Revolution increased CO2 levels by 20%. Of course, that has made the world we know and love today. But if humans weren't around, then there would be far less CO2. This also means that there would be no hole in the ozone layer. Scientists
I thought that the hole got filled up, didn't it?
What hole got filled? What are you talking about?
Isn't the hole filled? The ozone layer hole, isn't it filled
Are you
by
some
now?
sort of Bill Nye the Science Guy?
I don't
Pretty
know.
sure it's. I think it's slightly smaller. I think it's shrinking. I think that the hole's going down in size because we've been doing a good job.
Let's go to our
Also-
scientific expert, Alec.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure global warming would happen regardless of humans, but we're just,
Speeding up the process.
yes, but we're just expediting the process. So
Okay,
what
you
he's
didn't
saying
have
is
to-
true, but at the same time, it would still happen. Like we would still, global warming would still exist without us. Just it would just be slower. That's all.
us humans.
We're not
But
scientists.
thankfully
We
it's
have no idea what we're
repairing
talking
and may be
about.
fixed
I don't
in
know what
10
I'm talking
years.
about.
Areas in the world damaged damaged by humans like Chernobyl in Ukraine would be safe. Chernobyl
that
is
is
the
true.
most toxic place in the world. That's because in 1986 there was a nuclear power plant meltdown. Many other animals would also be alive if humans did not exist.
You telling me the mammoth would still
This
exist?
is especially true.
woolly
Yeah, it
mammoth.
would. We hunted
In the
them
past
to
40
extinction.
years, there's
Do we
been
even know if they're real?
50% decline in marine life. It's
woolly
believed
mammoth?
this is thanks to our climate changing, and also humans fishing on a massive scale. Amazing animals like the woolly mammoth
way.
would also still
No way.
exist.
I don't believe
it's
that.
believed
Yeah,
these
it
went
would.
extinct for two main reasons. This includes environmental factors and also humans hunting them for meat. But some living things
That'd
would
be
not
crazy.
exist. For example, in
Isn't a woolly mammoth just like an elephant with fur?
I think so.
In its most basic form, yeah, it's
It's
either
kind of like the
that
polar
or
bear compared to
It's
regular
like
bears.
Alex's mom, kind of same weight class and
How
everything.
how have you managed to put my mom into this conversation?
I'm just saying,
Don't
they would still be
laugh.
around if
What are you
humans
laughing at?
didn't
Don't laugh. That's not funny.
kill them off.
That's
The
so
humans
true,
killed
Jack.
everybody
How
else.
is that true? My mom is not a
Now,
woolly
guys,
mammoth.
I do want to bring up a pretty good point that the dogs wouldn't be around. Normal dogs, as we know it, would not be around because the only reason we have dogs is because we breeded different wolves together, and wolves and dogs, or wolves and humans evolved together.
Wait, guys.
There would be no dogs without
Earlier
us.
when we said what would be the highest on the food chain, we didn't even discuss crocodiles.
Yeah, because
That's
that's
true.
not even close. No, that's a horrible point. There's
Well,
no
Alec,
way
you have to
crocs
think
would be
about
up there.
everything.
Hippo.
Also, wait, woolly mammoths could be up there too because they never would have went extinct. Also, saber-toothed tigers would probably still be around.
Yeah, but they're close
No
to
way.
like
I feel like you're just
cheetahs
saying that. Yeah, I feel like you just. No way that humans hunted every single woolly mammoth.
They did. It's happened to so many different animal species. We've hunted so many animals out of existence.
Humans are crazy.
We almost got
love
rid
our
of
meat.
every single bison ever
love our
to
meat.
exist.
includes environmental factors and also humans hunting them for meat. But some living things would not exist. For example, indoor plants would never exist. These have been bred by humans
Yeah,
to be indoors.
obviously.
Also, plants like fruits would
There would
look
be no
very
indoors.
different. Modifications
Those
have been
bananas?
done to fruit and vegetable seeds.
Yeah, we made bananas.
This is to make
Didn't
them
know
look
that.
different and taste better. But
Whoa.
of course, if this
Oh,
was all
wow.
natural and humans
way.
weren't messing
Yeah,
with
we've
the
made
seeds,
a lot
this
of the
would not be
fruits and
case.
vegetables
It's safe
that
to
we
say
eat
some
today.
of our favorite
Ew.
foods would look and taste very different.
I feel like you didn't know this stuff, Jack, but you're just seeing it and then telling us as if you did know
Oh
prior.
no!
Like, you're like, oh
I'm
yeah,
not that
of
guy.
course
No,
we
I'm
did that.
not. I'm
Just so
not
you
Neil
sound
deGrasse
smart.
Tyson or whatever that dude is. No. You guys have never done like. You guys have never seen that like bananas
Jack.
are genetically modified
I
plantains.
didn't want to say it, but it seems like Jack doesn't know anything, and he's just saying yes to everything. He's
That's
just
what
You
I'm
guys
saying.
you guys didn't know that we made most of the stuff
No,
like that
Jack.
we eat.
Jack,
Jack,
you're
come on.
ridiculous.
Jack, come on.
Wait,
didn't
do you
know
guys
that.
think that? But did you guys think that bananas were like already existing before humans?
He just said that they were. They would just look different. They're
That's
still
so
bananas.
dumb. No, they're not, dude.
just
Plantains.
slightly
We literally
colored
modified.
different.
We modified
It's okay,
plantains
Jack.
to
It's
become
okay.
bananas.
It's
You're
all
just
right.
saying
Jack,
words
it's all
now.
right.
You're just
Jack,
making
it's
that
all
up.
right that you didn't know.
I'm just-
It's okay not
guys,
to know
guys,
things.
guys,
It's okay.
guys.
Don't worry
It's
about
really
it.
okay. I'm not faulting you guys. You guys are just dumb.
You may think that whatever happens, cockroaches
really
would be
dove
fine.
deep in this
After all,
research.
they're one of the most rugged animals in the world. They could even survive a nuclear blast.
I heard
But
that, yeah.
cock-
Did you know that, Jack?
I actually knew that.
Jack, did you know that?
I know that. Do you guys know like the water bear thing?
Yeah,
Like the
water
water
bear.
bear, like microscopic thing
Yeah,
can like
yeah,
survive anything. I knew about that. Not cockroaches though.
Cockroaches.
Sure.
Yeah. I know the only way to
would
kill them is to
actually
flush them
become
down the
extinct
toilet.
without humans. Humans generate the heat cockroaches need. And without us,
Ew.
cockroaches would cease to exist. If
Actually?
humans never
Let's
existed,
go.
there would be more visible
that'd be
stars
sick.
from Earth. On 1/3 of our planet, you can't see our galaxy. This is because of light pollution. Of course, without humans, there would
Yeah,
be
it's
no
crazy how many
artificial
stars
light.
there actually are
and
out
the
there.
only light source we would have is from the sun. Also,
There's
many
infinite.
endangered animals would be alive if humans weren't. Many species go extinct because of
No,
human-generated
wait, we're getting
Not the
blamed for the
dinosaurs.
dinosaur extinctions?
and in some cases, hunting and fishing makes animals go extinct. If humans never existed, then human diseases also would not exist.
Oh
Many
my
pathogens
gosh.
rely on humans.
Oh, I mean, speaking of things that are gonna go extinct, gingers are eventually gonna go extinct, right?
They say in like 50 years.
You guys are all gone.
Wait, Alec.
I'm a
you
rare
okay?
breed,
Are you
man. I'm a
serious?
rare breed.
Alec, this is a safe space.
Wait, are
We
you
can talk
saying
about
that,
it.
or is that real? 50 years, you're done? You could,
It's
you
real.
could very well be the last ginger.
it's a touchy topic.
Are you guys serious? Alec, you
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah, serious.
I'm actually fine with that.
I feel like Manny from Ice Age.
I'm kind of cool with that,
The
Jack.
last ginger.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's for the best, honestly.
Yeah. If you guys hate gingers, just
Okay.
leave a comment.
This not only wipes out humans, but animals too. But on the flip side, if humans never
one of those hairless
existed,
cats?
many incurable diseases diseases would never be cured. Humans have figured out how to
Okay,
cure
here we go. We
many
get some
diseases.
credit now.
This is using medicines made by
Seriously.
us. And these
Finally.
medicines are used on humans and animals too.
Humans
Without
aren't that
but we're
bad.
just
humans,
combating
the
natural
Americas would have
selection, aren't
just
we?
as much biodiversity as Africa. This means lions, tigers, zebras, and giraffes would roam the USA. The world would basically be like one gigantic
what?
zoo. The
I don't know
Great
how that
Barrier
makes
Reef
sense.
would also still be intact.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. Wait, how would the U.S. have lions?
How would the lions make boats and get over? You're saying that they would evolve to eventually have boats?
Yeah, because the fish come up from the land and then eventually grow legs and then they
Oh.
become a lion.
I
It's
feel like this
simple.
entire video is just this guy roasting humans and saying how bad we are.
He's saying like life
mean-
would be awesome without humans, pretty much. This
At
guy
this
hates
point,
the
the
human
guy,
species.
Yeah, he's gonna say that the sun's gonna explode if the human race still keeps going on.
This is ridiculous.
It's
This
our
is kind
fault.
of a hate crime.
Everything is our fault.
This video stinks.
Over 2/3 of the reef has passed away. It's believed this is thanks to
Passed away?
human-generated environmental factors.
But
If
it is coming
humans
back.
were not around,
Whoa,
we'd
that
also
place is
have
cool.
more
Where's
variety
that?
of plants.
Rainforest
That's because
Cafe?
they'd have more land to develop and grow. A sad thing is, the
Don't
dog
pretend like you just
population
know
would be a
everything.
lot lower. There would be
Wait, who
nearly
said that?
900 million fewer dogs in the world without humans.
No
Oh,
way.
who said
That's
that, guys?
because they
Guys,
are one
let's
of the
get an
most
instant
popular
replay. Who
pets
talked
in
about the
world.
dogs?
I think Jack's watched this video before.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, Jack's watched this video, taking notes, and written everything down. So everything this guy says, Jack's like, yup, that's true. Nope, that's not true. Actually, did you know?
Somebody
This
was
guy just
talking
knows
about
everything.
dogs earlier. Somebody knew about the dogs. I don't know who it was, but
Jack just knows
somebody's
about
really
every
smart.
single thing.
Whoever brought up that dog point is probably really intelligent.
You guys didn't know Jack's a genius.
Land and biodiversity. And this means there may be new species of animals
Please
we
tell
can't
me there's
even
no cats.
comprehend.
Oh,
Maybe
what?
a flying dog or a
I'd be
big
fine with
cat
that. I'm big
that
dog
This
guy.
guy's
lives
trying to
underwater.
convince me that
On the
flying
subject
dogs
of
would
land,
exist? I
Areas
don't-
like the Amazon
Wait, what'd he say?
rainforest, new species of animals we can't even comprehend.
No.
Maybe a flying dog or a
What?
big cat that lives underwater. On the subject of land, areas like the Amazon rainforest
No.
would be a
What
lot
are you talking
larger.
about?
Over 20% of the Amazon rainforest has been lost
think Charles
to
Darwin would
deforestation.
dislike this video.
This is mainly to make way for beef farms and also cutting trees down for things like paper and wood. But on the flip side of that, without humans, there would be far less animals like
there
cows
would.
and chicken. That's because these things are extensively farmed.
That's because
for
there's
milk
less
and
McDonald's
meat by
without
us
humans.
With no humans, there would be no plastic waste. That's because it's a man-made item. Right now,
Really?
there's enough plastic landfill on Earth to cover the country of Argentina.
Yeah, he's
but
right on
without
this
us,
one.
that would never have existed. Another weird
actually
consequence
crazy.
of having no humans would be bees. Human radio signals confuse bees and cause them to pass away. Without these signals, there would be
That's kinda
more
funny.
bees in the world.
Actually?
Another pretty obvious
Wait,
thing is
that's how
that
that
without
works?
humans, there would be no building.
Does that happen to you too, Adam? You get confused?
I get some weird frequencies sometimes. That's why I forget things all the time. It's the frequencies,
The radio
man. I thought I was
frequencies.
telling you. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. It's the frequencies. It's 5G.
Adam is half bee.
They're mind controlling me.
Can you even imagine a world without any buildings made by man? Without humans, all
No.
animals that exist would be wild. It's believed there's around
Really?
7 billion pets in the world. But none of these animals would be kept as pets without humans. They would roam free. It's
pretty much
without
saying
humans, there would also
would be
more
Planet of the
trees,
Apes if we
meaning
didn't
more
exist.
oxygen. And the polar ice caps would also melt at a slower rate. Not only that, there would be around 4.3 trillion more
No.
fish in the
Whoa,
world.
that's
Fishing and pollutants have decreased the fish population by trillions.
Wow.
But without us, that would not have happened. But it's not all bad. Many would agree that humans have transformed the Earth for the better. Simply
Here we
by
go.
living, humans do amazing things. We've made friends, families, connections, businesses,
We've gone to the
jobs,
flippin'
ideas,
moon.
and thoughts. People make new creations and inspirations every single day. And we've been doing this since we can remember. From the first early cave paintings to modern art.
Let's
and
go,
from
Al.
the invention of the wheel and
we
the
go.
Fire in a
to
cave.
the iPhone now. Even things
Yeah, we
humans have
invented the
done to
wheel.
damage the planet, we're now undoing. We're planting more trees than ever before.
trees, baby.
There are less people living in poverty than ever before. Cases of disease have been dropping too.
Here we
The
go.
population is also growing, meaning that we'll have new ideas and new people. And world
such a
hunger is
random
also
video.
at an all-time low. It's believed in 2021 the human population may cross 8 billion. And
It
despite
has
what
crossed
some
8 billion.
say, that is a positive thing.
Are we close to
but
9
now
billion?
that we know what the Earth would
I
have
don't
been
think
like
so.
if humans never existed, it's
we
time
just
to
hit
make
8
your
billion
voice
recently.
heard. Comment below what you think are the best and worst things humans have done to the world. If you want some more amazing
All
videos,
right, best and worst things that humans have ever done. Best thing, Rocky Road ice cream. Worst thing, it's gotta be the ginger thing. Yeah.
I'm literally right here.
The comments don't really say anything.
The video barely has any likes. This video is all over the place. They talked about humans not being there and some of the random effects, and they talked about flying dogs would be a thing if humans weren't around.
Guys, all in all, this is just a hypothetical. You guys really do exist. And to prove it, you guys should hit the like button right now and watch this brand new Beck Bro video.